me super happy. Welcome to session 43 of Iron Gods, played in Pathfinder 1 here on RPGMP3.com. Some mild technical problems with new computers right there, but we are here. We are here for you, and you're here for us if you visit our Patreon. Okay, all the Twitch, all the Twitter, all the Discord, all the everywhere, the Facebook, the whatever other mild porn sites we have going, whatever, you know.
My
visit us.
porn sites.
All right, not everybody wants to visit yours.
Oh, I think they do, Hal.
I think they do. I don't think so, because what you see, you cannot unsee.
You can. It just takes a ice pick.
A lot of drinking.
In the merch store, we do have eye bleach, right?
Right, we should have blended eye bleach. That's funny. And ear bleach.
I wish I had some of that.
Right. So, look at that. Look at that. Look, you've already got somebody in chat waving at you. They're going to get you really. Just like down in one, down in one, down in one. Bottoms up, bottoms up, bottoms up. Just solid back to back. All right, I've got my shit going. Holy crap. Hey, look, you subscribed. Thank you very much. That's super nice of you. That's right. Woof. All right, so last session, you actually defeated Hellion, and he exploded, and you were still wandering around in his little lair area.
Well, wandering around or kind of like recuperating, because he didn't just explode. He kind of, roll 4d8 damage. That's for the...
Actually, yeah, it was 8d8 total. So.
Yeah.
Well, for you guys that were near him.
Right. And I mean, I rolled bad for the electricity, otherwise it might have been better.
That's true. It might have been worse.
But we still have to, loot anything left of his corpse and whatever else he has stashed in this chamber.
I mean, there's not much left of the chassis, honestly. I mean, there's pieces of it, but there's very little left.
The 8d8 is the kid's glove.
But you can explore the chamber if you wish. I can give you a description.
Sure.
It would be a lot easier had I actually found the correct page. Here we go. I am here. We are here. Ba, 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 ba. On the southern wall of this sprawling cavern, a massive wheel of metal buckets lined with sharp edges is embedded, partially buried in the wall. The latticework of metal girders connects to the wheel. The whole of the device comprises a long mechanical arm ending in a metal wheel far larger than a mill's water wheel. So once Hellion died, that whole thing just kind of sputtered and stopped.
I was worried about that.
Interesting.
The whole excavator is probably dark.
It's like everybody's saving for random encounters.
Maybe.
Wait till they travel between towns. There's probably a better table.
Yeah. There should be a different table for scrap wall than just
I agree, but I agree, but Stellan Hills has so many great things on that roll. That table's great. It has like all kinds of horrid robots and yeah. So, the chassis, you can get a few pieces of circuit board, but honestly, it's mostly scrap. The cannon that it was using on its tail are gone. There's two very large, heavy claws that seem to be reasonably solid. They're pretty intact, but you've no idea what you'd do with them. Maybe you could save the servos if they hadn't been blasted to pieces.
What type of metal are they made out of?
You think it's mostly steel, the chassis? There's some pieces here and there of other things, but it's not made out of any kind of expensive star metal.
So regular steel, not glausite? Wow.
It's not. No, the whole thing's not made of glausite. That would be awful.
Alexander, perhaps the true treasure here is more the memory or the processing. Is there anything that we can use to capture his higher functions, or CPU, or perhaps memory core?
Probably not now, unless he's got spare parts or a backup system around here, but...
You can make me some perception checks as you search around.
Perhaps the true treasure here is the gods we killed along the way.
Only 16 perception.
16?
I haven't rolled yet. 1 second.
Plus, he's got gems in his makeup.
Oh, Demolich.
Okay, 27
27?
on perception. Kiernan finds what looks like it looks similar to that chip that Alexander installed in the control room area. You find 2 of those kind of embedded in a circuit board.
Ooh.
It looks there's potential that it's damaged. The whole board is blackened and charred.
Oh, we should save that though. Memory facets.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. I would feel really stupid if we did not keep it.
3 facets.
You want to write that down, Alexander? I think that's best for
There's
you to...
there's 2 memory facets here.
Excellent.
That shit's not cheap either. Just throwing that out there. They are essentially artifact items.
Excellent. Stick those someplace safe. Anything else? So, he's got a stockpile of batteries or guns or.
Yeah,
parts?
hidden behind. No, the whole room just seems like it was like they're trying to dig and break this thing out, but you've not. It just seems like a big open cave. I mean, there's paintings all.
Magic sweeper.
There's paintings all over the wall that are similar to the ones that were along the girder. Looks like it was, it clearly wasn't done by the robot. It was done by someone else. So
I want to take a look at those just to make sure if they tell any more of the tale of Hellion and his father, or.
And it does. Here and there are pictures that you kind of reference back to the notes that you've seen in various books. There's things about him leaving, and it looks like he left inside of this chassis. Now that you know what he looks like, it's easier to tell who he is. Sometimes he's pictured as the big demon face, and sometimes it appears he's pictured as this large, like, spider chassis. And you see him
Hellion, not Unity.
Yes, Hellion. You see him coming out of a mountain, and then it seems like he is somehow liberated and free. And there's you see him coming to what you assume to be Scrapwall. There are some depictions of the lords here and there in this stuff. People worshipping him in various forms. You see a picture of what you suspect to be either Myander or maybe his sister. It's difficult to tell the difference.
Oh, and all android chicks look the same. I see.
Well, I mean, this isn't high-end art. This is like daubed on the wall, right?
Right.
So you can make the assumption that it's an android and that it somehow has some kind of religious connotation, but you don't know what the connection is at this point.
Would it be possible for us to do a knowledge roll to see if maybe I could get more information?
The problem you've got with that is telling the difference between Myander and you don't know what his sister looks like. You know what Myander looks like, but there's no color here, so you can't tell what color her hair is or anything like that.
Are we able to determine what? Can we determine what the story is being portrayed on the wall? Is there any information that we could learn?
I mean, I think I've just spoken for like 5 minutes about what you know.
Well,
it's just
I know that, but like
of what you already know. There are certain things you don't quite understand. There are places and what you think might be. You suspect it may not be just Myander. Some of them may well be his sister, and that he is attempting to find her. And there's pictures of her locked in places and running and fleeing. But that could just be Myander wandering around doing things for him. It's difficult to say without the context.
So I'm sorry, maybe it means the player spacing here, but Myander is Hellion's sister?
No, Myander was the android we defeated in Torch. That was a cleric of Hellion.
That's what I thought, but he kept saying his sister, and so that
his sister was Cassandra Lee, another android that was a few hundred years ago.
Gotcha.
Who fled from Silvermount with a neurocam that might contain some memories of Unity, along with knowledge of his weaknesses.
So, well, the thing you've realized is that Hellion wanted to find not necessarily. Well, he wanted to find Cassandra Lee, but he probably realized that she was dead by now, because androids don't live forever. But the neurocam may well contain information about weaknesses of Hellion, of Unity. And he was concerned that Unity was growing in power and would eventually come and find him.
It's a pity she does not live forever. But then again, who does?
Who wants to live forever?
I was so tired at the end of the last game, but as far as I am aware, have we helped our friend of his infliction?
You have not. No,
that'll have to be in the morning.
So literally, you were still just looking around the room after the explosion, because it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
I would like to also scan around with detect magic just to make sure there's nothing, magic was dropped in there or enchanted on things.
Scan about. There isn't anything magical in here that you can see. Not a thing.
Alrighty.
Just by chance, I'm actually wearing my Blade Runner T-shirt today.
Really? That's
There's
funny.
my little unicorn on it.
I see. I thought you made a stain on it earlier from physical activities.
No, I do that completely naked. Why would I keep my shirt on?
Saves with laundry that way. That's good.
I guess we should return to Zagamander's area to rest. Tatia, does recreational fornication have to happen immediately after that, or should that wait until we get up to the surface and there's more options and libations?
I would say it doesn't have to happen, but it's always great when it does. And when the mood strikes, you can do it wherever you want.
Are y'all done picking through this robot, this spider robot? Are you done picking through the pieces?
Yeah, we wrote down 2 claws.
There was nothing left in the room, correct?
We have to, everyone drinks from acid honey.
Cheers!
I'll salvage a little scrap metal for use in headbands and swords or whatever,
A big freaking belt buckle for Buligup. Booyah!
I would like to start just kind of tearing apart and smashing any pieces that look like they may be like it could be to keep maybe anyone else from ever using it again.
It did a pretty good job when it exploded.
Okay, I did not know it exploded. I just wanted to make sure
there's some pretty solid pieces of metal that are left that were parts of like joints and parts of like its claws, but the rest of it, it's destroyed. All the sensitive electronics are basically destroyed. Even the stuff you managed to salvage, those 2 chips, they don't look in great condition.
Now,
does this do these depictions? I had 2 questions on the depictions on the walls. One, is it similar to the artwork and the, I'll say paint, even though I don't think it's paint, that was in the Zagmander's room?
They're similar. Yes, the depictions on the walls. You suspect that whoever did this may well have done the depictions in there as well.
Okay, so it's semi-magical, kind of, sort of.
Style analysis.
These are not magical.
Okay, the other ones kind of were, though, but
kind of, a little bit.
Well, he had the creepy eyes that follow you, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was why I thought it wasn't just normal, like, caveman paint. Oh, Zug, Lana, Another question I had was, does it kind of give us an indication, or does it help confirm some of what we've heard before about where this neural recorder might be? Like, what's our next move?
There's no real locations. The paintings are more kind of stylistic than that. They're mostly figures doing things rather than specifically being places. You recognize Silvermount because it's a gigantic mountain, but beyond that, there's not many specific places. But there is a reference in Kulgara's notes that she was planning to go to Ayadenve and
other side of Torch from here, I believe.
Right, in an attempt to find the neurocam or some trace of Cassandra. That there was evidence that was where she may have ended up.
That might be our next move.
Yes.
Right.
Is there anything in the room that could be used as like ink, like oil or blood, maybe?
I mean, there's probably plenty of blood seeping out of the people who are injured.
So Tatia has had enough of Hellion, and she goes over to some blood that is on the floor and runs her hands through it. And she walks up to a picture of Hellion on the wall, and she carefully draws a small mustache on him.
Oh, I thought you were going to draw 2 little X's where his eyes were, and Buligup.
Funny.
Buligup.
I mean,
the French.
There's plenty of Helions, but yes, okay, you deface a Helion with a mustache.
That's correct.
That is pretty funny. So the party's pretty beaten up, right?
Yes.
We have taken a bit of a beating.
I think most people.
I got healed up some, but I'm about that halfway.
Tiger went down like twice in that last
I went
fight.
down.
Yeah, I think you went down once or twice. Yeah.
I think most people, there was a couple of folks
Going down, and down.
So,
because Hellion hated you, wizard boy.
yeah.
It's the standard rules of all RPGs. Geek the mage, right?
Well, it was either that, or there were 2 serious risks to Helion's chassis. It was Buligup and the wizard.
And we have to assume that he had full tactical knowledge of every single one of our shinies because he's been observing us since, probably since we entered the whole scrap wall, right?
Since the day you were born.
That's right.
Those little camouflage observer bots probably could have roamed around the city.
So, what are you doing? Are you finishing up in here, or are you...
Yeah, and then I think we need to go back to Zagamander's to rest and regain spells, heal.
Fulfill our obligations to his agreement.
I would like to call everybody over to me before we leave. I would like to have a discussion with the group.
Everyone, get close.
Come, get close.
All right.
I think we should kill the Zagamander.
That wasn't the agreement.
Yeah, I crossed my arms and I go, why is that? We had an agreement with him. I say, let him break the curse and then he will leave our plane and he's no longer a problem.
We do not know that they will stay gone from our plane and may go to other planes and murder countless more to breed its evil brood of murder.
Well, here's the funny thing. If you kill him, quote, quote, kill him, he actually goes back to his home plane where he might get not only more powerful, but get a little pissed at the people that betrayed him.
I believe it depends on how they're here.
True, the curse might have affected that. I know a little bit about other planar creatures.
Some things from other planes kill and stay dead. Some, like the greater demons at least, you just temporarily inconvenience.
Yeah. Still,
I believe.
That wasn't our agreement, but if he breaks the agreement first,
I mean,
up fist bump.
They have already threatened to, if they get the urge, they will just attack us and plant their seed in our stomach or wherever it goes.
Don't worry. I'm confident that I can break the curse before that happens, and if not, I can probably remove any implanted eggs with the spell.
That's
depending on how fast they gestate, which I have not determined yet.
Wait, are you talking about the Xill, or are you talking about the fornication and torch leader?
The Xill.
Okay, I was checking.
Well, apparently 2 members of this party have something on their mind.
But is there reasons we should not obey or honor our commitments?
I mean, I think I think they are a horrific murderer. They have killed pointlessly. They have done terrible things and perhaps should be punished. I respect your decisions, though.
I think we made an agreement. We don't know the guilt or innocence of the people that were, shall we say, victimized in the past. So
he's probably killed and tortured many Kellets, but
they are a Lord of Rust. We killed the other Lords of Rust without knowing much about them.
This one helped us. I don't think we would have defeated. So?
Pretty much all they said was, "I will not kill you."
That's a form of help.
Oh, yeah, destroyed the monitors so we wouldn't be seen, and allowed us to. How much valuable information, Alexander? I felt like there was some good exchange there.
I might be able to get even more tonight, since I don't have to sleep much. And
it's not
apparently, Sagamander does not sleep.
I do think that we should rest, though, because we kind of got our asses kicked a little bit, not a lot a bit. Yeah, my cat needs a nap.
Our agreement was that he was going to let us rest and that we were going to try to remove his curse. And if it went on, quote, too long, he was going to get the itch to implant seeds. If any of that is a violation, he broke the trust first. And
do we want any...
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the deal was if we don't go fast enough, then we get murdered. That was part of the deal too, no?
Well, but that's the subjective part. If he immediately starts tapping his foot and 3 rounds later says, okay, you're not producing results, that's not part of the agreement in our opinion. So that's the subjective part. But we can't just go in and myrtleize them. That's not really honoring our agreement, I think. That's my vote.
Well, and I mean, that's pretty much how we treat a lot of other people we encounter if we need to change our protocols to be more...
Other people that we don't have agreements with, Alexander. That's the difference. We can be murderable, but as long as we don't have contractual obligations.
So is he an ally at this point? Or
yes.
Okay.
I would not call him an ally. I do not trust him. You two are you are my friends, my compatriots. I'll stand by your decision. It is not.
I consider him an ally, but I don't trust him either.
It is not a high imperative of mine. But if he steps out of line, I will slash him to the ground.
Agreed. But he has not crossed that line yet. So.
Okay. Then let's go see the ugly bastard.
I mean, is Sagamander really that ugly compared to other meatbags? I mean, a good frame of reference.
I mean,
just a meatbag, right?
Not as beautiful as Buligup is, but then again, who is?
That is true.
Tatia
is pretty lovely.
Yeah, they had this whole thing back in the early 2nd edition with the Unearthed Arcana. They had that comeliness score, which was meant to be separate from charisma. That was like how pretty you were or how good looking you were. And they had this concept of inverted comeliness. Like if there was a race, like a goblin, for example, that had a comeliness score of 3 or 4, then another character that had a 3 or a 4 might look like an 18 to them, right? Like, hey, yeah, you've got a slash across your face, but you looking fine, woman, you know? So,
well, I mean, you also have a racial component to that. The epitome of goblin beauty may not look hot to humans.
Yeah,
especially in Pathfinder, where they can have a gigantic head.
Yeah.
Wait, you're talking like cranium or
like Kenders?
Yes, like Kender.
Oh, like vampire tenders. That we can.
They don't exist at all.
I think since we're going to rest, and I've already exhausted the top of my spell slots, I'm going to expend my last 2 level 1 spell slots to spontaneously cast a Cure Light Wounds.
Oh wow! Can't Tatia help you there? She's got some healing magic left, I'm pretty sure.
Well, yes, but much of the other party needs healing too.
That is true.
Let me take a look at my list, but I'm pretty sure I'm okay because
May I make a suggestion?
Because you spent most.
stuff left. Yes, I just figured that I would wait until after nap time, but if we need it for somebody who's going to be standing guard, maybe, such as our android friend who, doesn't need as much rest as we do.
Or,
You might as well use some of your spells before you sleep because you regenerate them all while you rest.
yes. But Kiernan also says, perhaps we should wait to expel our spells until we've set up camp, because while I agree with Alexander that we have to honor our commitments, we also have to consider Buligup's opinion that we aren't necessarily in the clear that we will not be betrayed now that we are weakened. The Xill may come in and decide that we are weakened and
take advantage of us.
I think we're better hosts than allies.
Zagamander doesn't have much motive I could think of there, except for really they only need to keep me alive.
So
But
then,
unless they heard talk of betrayal from us, I don't think they have a reason to kill you early.
I don't think so either. So let's go ahead and move forward. Our backup plan is we fight, so let's go ahead and heal up and rest, shall we?
Okay. I was just thinking not to blow all of our spells before we get back to him.
I don't have a ton useful left.
Sure.
So
we could do it in back then.
Your Archon's Ore is probably dead by now, right?
Probably.
Gotta adjust my numbers. I don't think I marked off my second to last invisibility. Good. Okay. All right. So we go back into the chamber, and assuming he doesn't walk into the smoky ruin all Don Johnson like, we're going to go in there and basically wave him down that we were successful.
So Tatia goes up to Nicodemus and rubs her hand over his head and casts Cure Light Wounds.
Very good.
Out to
For
cure
12.
12. Nice.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
All right.
Nice.
Then, does anybody else want me to give them a nice touch?
I would not turn it away, but
First put the 12 on the Kitty.
What's that?
Put the 12 on the Kitty. His hit points hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to take me a minute, so I figured I would ask everybody else. Okay. Let's see. Nicodemus. All right. Well, I'm walking around the room and doing this. What is everybody else doing?
I am hurt, but I'm the best out of everybody, so I'll take healing last. You guys need it more than me, probably. But we do have a hypho gun, too, that... also kind of thirsty. I wonder if I want to take a skank pull for my Numerian Fluids wineskin or something.
All right. So Kitty follows, and wait a minute, Buligup. God, poor thing. Just kidding. I knew I was pretending. I'm sorry, Buligup. You are not invisible. I care about you. Okay. And where's my new thing? That's where she's at.
Are you talking to your character sheet? Is that what's going on there?
Maybe. Okay. So that was for Buligup. How much? So Tatia takes her hand and she motions towards Buligup near his
the green
face.
tadpole.
As she casts Cure Light Wounds to cure 9 HP. All right, and then I will do that one more time. Here we go. For another 9 HP.
Thank you very much.
All right, and then I will walk over towards Kiernan and Bill and be like, "Hey, what's up, boys?" And cast Cure Light Wounds again. And give Bill 12 HP. Where does that put Bill?
Thank you, my lovely.
46. That'll fill him up.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And
perfect. That's what I needed.
then where are you sitting at, Alexander?
I'm about half.
Okay. So then I will
But
also...
so are you.
What is that?
So are you.
Yeah. Okay. I will cast a Cure Moderate Wounds.
Ooh.
For you. For 16 HP. Where does that put you?
That puts me 3 down. Thank you.
Is Alexander feeling better?
Very, very much so. Thank you.
Happy android friend. Makes me very happy. Okay, so... and then once more for myself, and Tatia takes her hands and she puts them in front of her face and says, "It's like you never saw that I looked like crap." And I cast Cure Moderate Wounds. And Tatia gets 17 HP back.
That's pretty nice.
Is it normal that when she touches you for healing that you take bludgeoning damage in her codpiece because there's a growth down there? Is that normal?
Do you have a cod piece?
No.
Nerd.
Okay, so...
Yeah, it's a flounder piece.
Right. Shall I move you back to where you were?
Herring
Yes.
of love.
At least until we counter Zagamander, in case he was listening in there.
I meant
Well,
back...
let's be clear. We weren't talking about betraying him. I mean, even if he was listening in, it's like I'm planning on upholding.
No, but Buligup was proposing that, but you know.
True.
Just always a good idea to have a backup plan. All right, so nap time. Tatia and Kitty are ready to cuddle up.
Cuddle up. Hold on. Oh, we don't want that. That would be scary.
What's that?
I accidentally grabbed Hellion as well as the party when I was going to move you.
We
New
just
party member.
like a Frankenstein Helion.
Right, you've got a replacement for Tim. He's probably better at haiku.
It'd be a better haiku.
It would be. And I'm pulling you over to the other map. There.
So this is that. So we're back in that space again with Zaggy.
Yes, I figured that's where you were resting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems
I believe
logical.
he requested we stay in his presence.
You may distribute as you see fit. Beautiful.
And asking for a friend, how big is that grenade launcher? Just, idly curious.
I mean, it's pretty sizable, I think, the grenade launcher. It's not light. Grenade launcher. I don't have the stats for it handy. Let me look.
I'll do that.
I got it. I already did the search. It's good. I gotcha. Two-handed ranged. It isn't. Oh, it's heavy weaponry. It is heavy. 8 pounds. It weighs 8 pounds.
It's pretty sizable.
And it is pretty sizable.
Yeah, I've just got its value in case we try to sell it.
But you can load it with up to 5 grenades.
Yummy.
It is bulky and can fire any grenade a great distance. Grenades propelled by the launcher can be set to detonate upon impact or at the start of your next turn. A grenade launcher requires charges to fire, but unless the weapon is also loaded with a grenade, any charges that are consumed are wasted. A grenade launcher can hold up to 5 grenades at a time. Loading a single grenade into the launcher is a move action. It also has the slow firing trait, which I believe means you can't fire it every round.
Yeah.
You can't fire it if you have multiple attacks.
It's like a heavy artillery style weapon.
Yeah, if you have like 2 attacks per round, like Buligup, he'd still only be able to attack it once per round. I think.
That's right. Yes, it requires a full round action to fire it.
Roger.
It's also time worn, so it's got so many shots, and then it's just completely toast.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a dial on the grenade that you could throw it when it impacts, but oh well.
Right? Wouldn't that be? Yeah, but that would totally invalidate the grenade launcher.
Well, unless you want the range.
I mean, it has a range of 100 feet.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I mean, if Alexander can find a military lab, he can actually make them.
Well, I'd have to take that feat.
What feat? Craft technological arms and armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have craft arms. You have craft arms and armor.
I have craft magical arms and armor and wondrous item.
Right, but you don't have technological arms and armor. So.
Doesn't seem to make sense until we have solid access to a craft lab.
Some kind of crafting lab, whatever that may be.
But even then, who knows? What I really need to do is figure out how to talk to my nanites and convince them, since they're already repairing me, to repair other things so that I could, do the Technomage version of reconditioning.
Is that a feat you can get or not?
It's not, but I think it should be.
Really? You think it should be? I like that. I think this should be a feat.
Still, Alexander has a Charlton Heston level of
creative
license.
Whatever, creative licensing or whatever.
I mean, if I did, constitution damage to myself or whatever by bleeding out nanites.
Right. I'm going to say that EMP pistol is seriously expensive.
Yeah,
we can totally sell it. I just had it because I thought it was pretty effective in the last fight, but I think
not as expensive as the Death Ray.
No.
Death Ray.
Or the extinction wave device, or
the atom gun.
Yes.
That sounds promising. When do we pick one of those up?
I believe there are some atom grenades in this adventure.
Unfortunately, unless any of you have stuff on your sheet, we've gone through most of our really good grenades.
Yeah, you guys have thrown a lot of grenades.
I still have quite a few.
I have an Inferno grenade and a Zero grenade.
Nice.
I have Zero, a Flechette, a gas, and is that it? I think that might be it. Oh, I have 2 zeros. One
Unfortunately, they did
gas
not.
isn't as good as I thought it was.
Good.
No, gas is nauseates people basically.
Yeah, but what sucks is I thought it was more obscuring fog,
Nope,
and it's not.
Explicitly not.
Exactly. I read that it's explicitly not, which kind of sucks because I was hoping this was like a Batman Ninja Disappear trick thing, but nope, it just makes you sick and it's silent but deadly. So it's kind of like Buligup after he has some of that Kellid raw salmon, really.
So, you are in the room with Zagmander, you are healing, you are setting up camp, I assume?
In a very strange departure from social norms, Alexander is our face in this exchange. So this is his jam with opening a dialogue with the other planar creature. Doesn't trust any of the rest of us or something. So
Tatia walks up to Kiernan and puts her arm slowly around his shoulder and says, "Hey, so nap time?"
Sounds like a plan. I think that maybe we can, it's kind of cold in these caves. We might have to, snuggle to keep warm. We don't get pneumonia or something.
Sounds like a good idea. Let's get to it.
If you are cold, it might be best to sleep next to the tiger. The fur provides insulation to
I
keep you
think we
warm.
should all. Yes, my thoughts exactly. We all cuddle together.
Sagmander is up on its nest, just sitting, watching you.
Okay, who's gonna make our nap time pot?
Nap time pod?
Kiernan rolls a 28 on his sleight of hand for a butt pinch on slight butt pinch. Tatia. Unknown scene. Anyway, I don't want to take the camera light. Alexander, you were in the middle of something important for the game.
No, I'll just spend most of the night talking to Zagmander about other planes, technology they've seen.
Sure.
Xill life cycle.
Zagmander is more than happy to talk about the Xill life cycle. That seems to occupy a great deal of its time and thought.
You should write that on your forum thing, because Alexander might in the future get a +2 circumstance bonus to Xill specific stuff. You never know, it might come up again, right? This is a role-playing thing. It might not be mechanically accurate, but it's just something cool for the log, right?
+2 thing is not a role-playing thing. That's a mechanical thing. But yes, I understand.
Well, I'm not the DM. I'm just saying, like, it's not a normal conversation that people have at a tavern.
No, but
So,
it's a fascinating opportunity to pick up new information.
You understand that the Xill basically have an endless supply of young that they constantly have to find hosts for.
So
do we. But,
are they gendered? Are all Xill egg layers? Do they need a mate to fertilize the eggs, or do they just all?
You don't get that impression. You get the impression that Zagmander could lay eggs in the whole party right now, and they would burst free and run away, and then there'd be more eggs to lay in other people.
That's remarkably efficient.
Mm-hmm. And it is really difficult for that. There is an urge to reproduce that is almost feral in the Xill. They have to do it regularly, otherwise it causes them serious problems.
Once again, similar to prime material plane.
That does seem to be the way with many meatbags.
They need to reproduce.
Yes. Right.
I think that's nice. That's definitely right. I think that Tatia and Kiernan should get it on in front of the creature that's trying to restrain its reproductive urges. I think that would be a good idea.
That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't it though?
Tatia is chaotic good. That is kind of her way to torture somebody into thinking.
Yeah, you might wake up with an ovipositor up your butt.
If you were a bully, you could get laid too.
And Kiernan is a complete hedonist, so that would totally be in line.
Ovipositor up the butt.
Hey, it's on his bucket list, right?
So how long after Zagamander implants young do they burst forth?
After some discussions, Zagmander doesn't measure time the same way you do, but the impression you get is it doesn't take very long. You're looking in the region of somewhere maybe 2 to 4 hours.
Very efficient.
Cool and heavy.
Do they only need when they're young, or does Zagamander eat?
Unless she goes.
Hang on, what'd you say?
Oh, do only the young need to eat, or
Zagmander eats as well. Zagmander does eat. But doesn't necessarily need to eat as much as the young does. Then the young really just needs a place to host and gestate, and then it generally consumes things on the way out, and then just flees the plane back to into the planes where they travel about. So they only really come to the material plane to hunt and to breed.
And there's no preference for intelligent hosts or anything. They don't gain anything from an intelligent host, because he said the tiger would be a great host.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it doesn't matter as long as it's warm and alive when the creatures are inside.
Oh boy, I wonder if it's like that movie Alien 3 where the dog alien was like smaller, more feral, climbed up on ceilings.
Have you ever tried trolls? You could have like a dozen trolls chained up in a chamber, and they could be eternal hosts if it didn't kill them for young bursting through.
Zagmander, it is an interesting thought if we were more considered, but the hunt itself is part of the game.
Ah.
Keeps us sharp. We like strong hosts, not ones that are chained up. I don't think it affects the young particularly, but I guess it is what we would consider a tradition.
Excellent. Well, I would like to. Have you had run-ins with the Technic League? Have you encountered many of them? Or?
They are wizards, yes. I have eaten several and lain eggs in others.
This makes me happy.
When will we be removing the curse?
I can try in the morning after I recoup spell energy. It's going to take close to my highest levels of spells, so I can probably attempt once a day, but I'm pretty confident I can remove this curse unless it is extremely...
It is very stubborn, but I trust your attempts will be honest.
Oh yes, we already discussed and we've decided not to betray you.
I appreciate that. I would hate to have to fill you with eggs and watch you burst. I have never tried with an android before, but I am willing to experiment.
I do not believe I would enjoy that as well, so... Appreciate it. I should also warn you, since you are, I believe you're probably a spontaneous caster, I'd guess? Some sort of sorceress?
I am what you would call, yes, a sorcerer. I am drawn to the stars.
My method of casting these spells will be a little unusual, so you may not notice what it's... you may misinterpret, but because I'm having to recreate the effects of a cleric in a roundabout kind of way.
Okay, I understand. I have seen similar things in my time where people use magic from other places.
Excellent.
Let us continue our conversations.
You talk most of the night. The party is sleeping, doing whatever the party are doing, talking horse shit. In the morning, you awaken, and
some of us more sticky than others, but
I could even attempt before the rest of the party awakes after my 1 hour of
that is a ghastly noise.
And we should note that the burps and the snoring is all from the female of the party. Saying.
Which one is that?
I mean, we can... Chat would like us to mute you.
It made my face tickle to keep doing that.
That's the metal vibration with the nose ring. That's
maybe it is.
and if you like gargle salt water, you can pick up AM stations. I read that on the internet.
That'd be kind of cool. Although no. I guess that. Speaking
all
of
you need is coconuts and salt water, and the professor from Gilligan. You can do anything with that. Like he's like MacGyver's dad, I think.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, but sorry, Zagmander was doing what about silent spell on snoring? What?
Nothing. So it's the morning. You awaken. You are rested, so you will get back your level in hit points.
The tiger as well, so he would. Nicodemus will get the 6. He's 6 at die, or what is he?
He is.
Good. Oh, and my stuff resets.
So The spells are regenerated for Wit and Alexander. And if Alexander wants to give this a try,
Sure.
you can. You can.
Let's
Oh, here
see.
we go.
This will be a caster level check, I believe.
Yes, you're going to make a caster level check to remove the curse. What spell are you casting?
I believe break curse or
Is it break enchantment?
Was it remove curse
I
or
think
break?
it's remove curse.
Remove curse. Okay, it's either remove curse or break enchantment.
Now, were you gonna try it flat thing, or were you gonna try the boosty that you have, the Nanite Surge or whatever?
I'm going to try all sorts of boosty.
Can you actually
Me too.
boost? Can you actually boost your caster level check?
Yes.
Oh, because you can increase your caster level.
I can increase my caster level by 4 once a day. So it'll give me +4.
And wow, that gives you a decent chance.
I was just asking him. I wasn't telling him to do that. I don't run his character. I was just
No. That gives him a decent chance because caster level check is, what did we say? It's your level plus your. Is it your casting
level
stat?
plus d20?
Is it just a flat? No, there's no casting stat. That's awful.
Right, but I would
he
also like.
He wanted to extend this out and maybe stretch it out a little bit too. So he might want to.
But I would also like to activate my Nanite Surge, which I can do once a day on any d20 roll.
Okay. Is there anything Wit can do to help you?
If she can do anything that gives me a plus that's not a morale bonus, maybe.
Yeah, or a reroll or something. I don't know whether she can do anything like that.
No, don't eat my jelly beans!
Wow. Can you
but
do
then
that?
I don't know whether there's much that give you a bonus to a caster level check because it's just a flat roll, right? It's not
Yeah, unless it's something that just gives a bonus to a roll or an increased caster level.
So help another is not going to apply to this.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, if you were wanting to extend this longer, like have it take a day or longer, right? Like try it the normal way, and then, oh, sorry, it didn't work. Let's talk more, and then I didn't know if that's what you were angling.
I'm getting some information, but he doesn't have a wealth of technological or spell knowledge to dump, and I would rather get people out of danger.
Not have them filled with eggs.
Not have them filled with eggs. Not have them get bored and decide to betray the arrangement.
Yeah, Buligup. I'm going to sharpen my glaive on his neck.
Okay, so can Wit do anything to help you? I don't think so. Probably not. I think increasing a caster level check is probably going to be beyond most people's abilities.
I don't think there's anything in the game mechanics that allows.
I mean, there may be some stuff that lets you re-roll a d20 here and there, but I don't think there's much like that in what the content has.
There are teamwork feats of ritual casting, I think, that could help with something like this, but that's right. You got to burn a feat, you got to do shit like that. It's dumb. So,
I mean, if that's where you're going, you need somebody else to help you. So you are currently at level 10, yes, with your boosted level.
Yes,
and you are casting remove curse.
Yes.
Okay.
So all in all, with my Nanite Surge, I have plus 19 to the roll.
Oh, wow. What does your Nanite Surge do?
3 plus my level.
Oh, that's pretty nice. You're getting this. Oh, that's super good. So you're actually doing 19 plus the roll to beat the caster level.
Yeah. So if it's a 20, it's almost guaranteed. If it's 25 or 30, I got a chance.
You get with the Xill, and he explains that he will let you cast this spell without resisting you.
Excellent.
So he's going to quell his natural resistance this time.
All right.
I believe he can opt to do that he can opt to lower his spell resistance.
I believe, most creatures can.
Yes, as long as they're conscious and aware, they can opt to let the spell through, right? Because otherwise you'd never heal them.
Exactly. Okay, we magic in there. We pry up the spell a little bit. We throw a little power in, and 22. That was a crappy roll.
22.
Actually, is all your pluses added into that? Because I don't see the
3 plus 6 plus 4 plus 9.
Okay. Yep.
You reach out with the magic and you feel the spell go. You've never cast this before, I don't think, so it is something new. It feels strange because it's clerical magic and it's odd, but you feel the curse in his skin, and you kind of try to remove it with the magic that you're reaching out with, and you actually feel like it does. You feel like you're washing away the curse, and then it just drops to the ground, and it stands there in front of you a little straighter than it did before. It doesn't seem as hooked and pained. Thank you.
Welcome. If that was not sufficient, I could try tomorrow as a bard, perhaps.
No, it is done. The curse has gone. It is lifted from my flesh. I feel it has gone. Let us try.
Zagmander puts down the laser torch and takes off both the braces and puts them on the ground and then just vanishes.
I will wait a second and then scoop up the torch and bracers.
Mm-hmm.
Non-magical, right? Both.
Both non-magical. Nothing Zagmander has is magical, which is a bit bizarre because it's a sorcerer. You would think it would have a magical. Yeah, you'd think it'd have a magical something, but I guess giving it magical somethings would probably make it even more ridiculous, considering it gets 1, 2, 3, 4. It gets 5 attacks around.
Right, because it's four-armed and
a bite.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it goes longsword, laser torch, bite, claw, plus grab.
Yeah, that sounds fun too, because it's like grab plus impregnate.
Actually, it's not. It's bite plus paralysis, and then it impregnates you while you're paralyzed.
Nice.
Well, that makes sense.
Hey, that no means no, Hal. That's
and the paralysis is not a small DC to save against.
It's either that or it would cast a charm person or dominate on you while you're
right. It does have spells as well, so it does have charm person. It also has ray of enfeeblement to just kind of weigh you down a little bit.
I have that one.
Makes you weak in the knees.
But the bite it's plus 12 to hit with the bite, which even against you lot, it's got a good chance.
Yeah, and not Jim Artis is asking if he kind of with all those attacks per round, if he maybe stuffed some eggs up our bums. Do we have to check if they're sticky or something? Or
I mean, maybe. I mean, they're like. I mean, it's possible. It's a lot of attacks per round.
Hey, other planar entities. I'm pretty confident though.
So the torch it's a laser torch.
All right.
So it's actually not a
martial, if I remember right.
It's a what?
Martial weapon, if I remember right.
Is it martial? Oh no, honestly, half of these are. Oh no, my technology weapons knowledge is not that good.
I may have been looking recently on some of that stuff.
Right, it is considered one-handed melee, actually.
Oh.
You say that word real fun.
Can I backstab with a laser torch?
How do you say it?
That sounds like
melee.
How do you say it?
Melee.
Melee. But there's no Y in it or A. That's interesting. It is a martial one-handed melee weapon, or however you say it. And it does
melee.
one.
It's a melee.
It does 1d10 fire damage.
No, it's free damage.
From the people who brought you LO, there's no Y in it though.
Fucking eight. Mithril bracers.
The mithril bracers are just mithril bracers. They are they're worth 800 gold.
It would make a nice basis for some mage armor bracelets.
I mean, that's true. They are very nicely made. You can make
Probably
bracelets of
are
armor out of them.
Who in the party is most in need of armor?
Well, I don't know Unenchanted if they actually provide any armor.
No,
Yeah,
but
they
if they're-
don't.
But if they're that nicely made, they're probably already considered masterwork. So they probably could be.
So
bling-bling,
it's a special metal, so they're considered masterwork anyway, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you need special tools to work it.
And now
It
Jim
is-
Marcus is asking if it's aluminium or aluminum. I think it's mithril.
Depends on what country you're in.
That's right.
Hal, what color are they?
Silver, I believe, if they're mithril.
Yeah, they're like a silvery color, right?
They're silvery color.
I mean,
I just
yes.
find it ironic that in Scotland the Scottish say Scottish and there's no T in it. Just saying. You know, it's
Do they?
Okay, so you say color, and I say gray or gray.
Are you talking aliens or color?
What?
No, Grey or Gray.
Right.
great. It's always confused the piss out of me. I've always had to go to words.
It doesn't matter. The answer is it doesn't fucking matter. So we weren't making excuses for words now just because people can't figure out literally and figuratively. We also just at some point accepted that gray was spelled
That
two
nice
different
thing.
ways.
Did you put that in the Discord thing? I never saw that.
Yes. I just opened it, so I just put it in Discord.
One. I gotta open Discord. That looks pretty yummy. That's the tavern chat, right? Or the
Snug.
snug? Yes. Sorry.
So now the crazy insectoid is gone forever.
I believe he
Well,
was
it's
saying-
gone.
Gone until he wants to come back, but he probably would never come back here for probably within your lifetime for sure. He's
Right.
probably sick of this plane.
He might not even be able to find individual people, so probably won't hunt us down. Just
Probably.
more Kellids or something.
Now, Hal, this is just a platform, no? Right there?
Yeah, it's like a nest that it's built up on top of there, made out of like bits of hair and bits of stuff and bits of things and bones and other things.
I would like to go
Certainly.
up there and just kind of poke around, see if I see anything. I guess
Okay.
perceive what I can perceive, or do
Sounds good. You should give that a try.
It's going to be very bad. I can almost guarantee it. But
Well, I was gonna look too because I'm 27 for me.
I mean, Zills could shit gems or something. So
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's-
he's left. He doesn't care. He's saying "fuck off, y'all." I mean, I'm even checking like hidden bottoms or underneath and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, you search around the nest and you don't find anything else there.
I'll give it a quick detect magic.
Okay, there's no magic in the room.
With a 24, can I find any like a cool trinket?
I mean, there's lots of bones, and it looks like Zagmander would potentially sit and carve them when it was bored. So there's a little bit of bone whittling going on here, scrimshaw styley, but other than that, there's not much.
Okay, Tatia grabs one of the really cool trinkets that he was whittling and just casually puts it in her pocket so she
Right,
can make a necklace out of it later.
So the one thing you realize is that this is probably some kind of sentient creature's bone.
Cool.
So, what's your point? I was gonna do the same actually, but she thought of it first.
So
I'm
it's what, a
just-
heal check to figure out what it belongs to?
I mean, sure. I mean, it looks like a reasonably long bone. Maybe a humerus of something.
I want a tiny bone.
It looks like the.
Fucking
It looks,
Buligup.
if you want to, right? If you're wanting the carvings, they're on the larger bones.
Well, then it'll be some wall art. I stick it in, I just put it under my arm, ready to go. Oh, no! I hand it to Nicodemus, and he carefully puts it in his mouth.
Does he, or does he just eat it?
No. Do I have to roll for it?
I mean, probably not, assuming he has a trick to fetch or carry.
You probably need saddlebags for Nicodemus.
And my animal handling is like off the chain.
Okay. So your cat is carrying what would appear to be a human or elven longbone in its mouth.
It sounds like a +2 intimidate check to me. Just saying,
I could grab some blood, or Tatia could get some blood off of the floor and smear it on Nicodemus's face, so he just looks real tough. And he's like, gross, yuck, Mom, why?
Like a bloody William Wallace look going there.
So we need to get him the battle cat saddle and some saddlebags and stuff. And...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Battle cat saddle.
We also talked about getting him barding, but that is when we get back to where our next place is. Are we heading back to Torch? Are we heading back to the fortress to talk to the clerics of Shaylin?
I would like to first go to the control room and see if we can retrieve the inhibitor facet, and then up one level to see if my batteries are still there.
I thought that the inhibitor facet wasn't left there. I thought we just had uploaded it when we took it, I thought.
It didn't want to be pulled, and it might have deactivated the inhibitor.
Okay.
I made a note to pick it up on the way back.
You also haven't searched the room in front of the excavator where the giant used to live yet.
Oh, yes. Dreg's squat. We should do that as well.
Just FYI, you've not been in that room.
Well, since we're mostly full up except for my dismissal spells, shall we journey to the front of the excavator? Teammates?
Would you like a description of the front of the excavator?
Sure, I shall move my character.
As large as this cavern is, the cave's proportions are dwarfed by the immense buried structure that looms over its western half. Now I've got to move the camera because you guys have wandered off.
God damn it!
There we go.
But we wandered off to where you're talking.
I know, you did a good job. Let me zoom you out a bit.
Damn it, Butters! Fucking everything up.
All right. As large as this cavern is, the cave's proportions are dwarfed by the immense buried structure that looms over its western half. This metal leviathan presents a filthy facade of sharp angles, doors stained and pitted with rust, allowing entry into its interior, and a wide balcony overlooking the rocky floor 15 feet above, I guess. A massive mound of furs, rags, and refuse, a nest of some sort, sprawls in a sizable alcove to the southeast, while to the north a 10-foot wide tunnel curves to the northwest. 3 areas of straight metal ridges protrude from the ground, marking paths from the building. Evidence of recent excavation work is apparent. An immense lattice work of thick grey metal beams extends from the front of the buried structure, creating a wall of girders and struts that bisects the cave's northern reach. These beams have been painted with images of demonic faces and spiked mechanical claws, and are further adorned with strips of sinew on which countless humanoid bones have been hung like wind chimes.
Detect magic?
Detect magic. What's the range on it?
60 feet, I think.
Are you walking the cave, or are you just starting there?
I'll
start there, but I'm going to be
first.
I'm going to be keeping it up until something jumps out at us.
Yeah, I'm especially leery of this scaffolding here because that had been trapped before as well. So I have a pretty sick detection trap ability, but I'll see actively if there's anything there.
Hymn music.
Oh, that's my family playing in the other room. I'm surprised
that's
picks it up.
It's because it all went quiet. It's probably your microphone compensating.
Okay. Yeah, my daughter's gotten into the Friends DVDs, so she's all into the story with the.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's disturbing when your 12-year-old daughter starts laughing in the hallways and go, "We were on a break." I don't even understand what that means. That's disturbing. So
that's funny. That is pretty funny. Okay.
basically, I'm kind of relying or assuming that there might be similar traps to what we had in the extension of this room east when we were.
You can make me perception checks if you're looking.
I did check with 20, but I'm hoping that Alexander's.
12.
I'm hoping that Alexander's detect magic gives us a sniff of it a little bit, because I can detect magic traps.
You don't find anything trap-wise as far as you can tell across that girder.
I do want to make note to Alexander. Hey, monitor here, completely intact. We got a 65-inch QLED monitor here that's not Hellion infected. If you want to salvage this guy.
Yeah, but my bag is getting pretty close to bursting.
So throw out those leather armors that we don't need.
Are those monitors along the bottom, or are they along the top of the excavator?
They're hanging off the top, so they're 15 feet up.
Yeah, I think I broke those.
Yeah, I think you might have broken those.
I think I reached over the side and smashed those monitors.
Okay, fair enough.
I have one, but that's I assume they all appear to be without power, like the rest of the excavator.
Yeah, nothing here seems to have power anymore.
So Hellion was powering them from his robot chassis reactor, I would guess.
You think maybe what's happening is it's more, rather than power, it's more to do with control.
So we might be able to do something for the control room once it's.
You master control.
Depending on how much stuff we smashed and how much left is there of it.
So these bone wind chimes, does this seem to be some kind of hippie bead curtain for a chaotic evil creature, or where it might have a nest beyond it, or is this just?
Down. There's a nest. It's in the description. There's a nest of fur and knottiness down to the south.
Gotcha. Let's do a search of that then.
Okay. You can make me a check. You approach it and you see things moving in the nest in the furs.
Giant lice.
Giant ticks and fleas. They're huge, like the size of thumbs or even larger.
Oh shit! That's probably why I'm not even going to approach it then.
Jeez. Is this going to be right there?
It's down in the south. It is. Yes, right there. Right there. It's that pile of stuff to the south. If you guys are moving down there.
Sure.
Yeah, do you have some kind of death cloud or
fireball?
Well, that might melt certain things, but
I have an inferno grenade I can toss over there.
I don't know. I'm a little bit more optimistic from a detect magic. Does detect magic pick anything up when you get close enough, Alexander?
Detect magic?
It does not pick up anything from there.
I don't believe they're magical beasts, so I believe ticks and vermin are normally fairly easy for people to kill.
Fairly easy to die from horribly, you mean, right?
I believe a tick would have to drain you for quite some time for you to die, but my knowledge of anatomy is not too huge.
But you know what ticks don't drain? Androids. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket.
Would you be able to fumigate them with your gas grenade?
I mean, we would nauseate them. Gas grenade isn't lethal to anything.
Then inferno grenade it is.
Sweet.
That's why
the burning hands might do that.
Grenade launcher. Grenade launcher.
Yeah, let's throw 750 gold into the nest to kill some ticks.
Is that how much a grenade is? 750 gold?
Do you have a better idea? I mean, doesn't that sound amazing?
It does, but
light the room of fire.
Kind of like some billionaire like Elon Musk, like throwing $100 at a homeless guy. You know, get out of my face,
What's
bitch.
my bet with it?
These are ancient technological artifacts.
I asked myself what would Batman do, and it was do something outrageous that costs a shit ton of money.
Hal, can I use Mage Hand?
Yes, but you're Frogman, not Batman.
Can I use Mage Hand effectively to move some of the stuff aside without being infected, obviously, and kind of observe from a distance if something? Oh, it's a bag of gold, or some gems fall out, or oh look, there's a giant chainsaw or something.
So what's the weight limit on Mage Hand?
5
Well,
pounds?
I think it's like 5-10 pounds.
Yeah, most of the furs and stuff here are from really big creatures and weigh a lot more than that.
Well, moving aside is different than lifting off completely.
Are you hoping for gems or technology or
anything? I'm just trying to move stuff aside and shuffle stuff around.
What the hell? I almost never use the spell. I'm firing up Technomancy.
Oh shit! Shit, really? Okay. What does it do? It just detects. Does it detect technology?
It works like detect magic, except it detects the presence of technological objects instead of magic. And
that's interesting.
And it grants technologist feat for the purpose of attempting knowledge engineering checks to identify properties of technology items, or gives you a +10 if you already have the technologist feat.
Okay, so towards the back of the nest, there's something technological. Oh, there's several somethings technological.
Valuable tech items.
Can he direct me to pull it with Mage Hand? Is that? I mean, we don't have a time limit here. Is that something that we could coordinate each other to do, like talking and a little to the left, a little to the right, colder, warmer? I got it.
Could I just?
I mean, Mage Hand isn't actually physically there, is it? Isn't it invisible?
Yeah.
So how's it going to go left and right if you can't see it?
If he picks up chunks of stuff, I can say, okay.
I actually think it is visible.
Is it visible?
Spectral hand, I thought.
If it picks up something, I can say, 12 inches in front of that or left or.
How big are these creatures? How big are these?
It's not visible.
Maybe like an inch or two.
Is it just covered with them, or is there just a few?
No, there's a. I mean, you think if you start moving these things, this furs around, you're probably going to encounter more hiding underneath.
Could I swat it with the flat part of my glaive? Would that squash them?
Sure, it'll definitely squash a few. Technomancy. Oh, it's nice. I like that.
It doesn't look like the Mage Hand is visible, actually. So, But I mean, I'm moving furs and stuff. I don't know. I just thought with no time limit, I thought we could eventually get to a rhythm. But I can understand the conservatism of it, that not really being effective.
I mean, I don't have any fur for them to get trapped on, so I'm going to go try and swat some of them.
Okay, you wallop them with your glaive, and they kind of scurry away underneath the furs.
And I kind of want to move the furs to the sides with my glaive, since I can be like 10 feet away.
Right. So Alexander has indicated towards the back wall where he seems to see where there's something glowing. That is an incredibly noisy dog rat.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So can I move them out of the way a bit so that I can see what is going on?
Well, you see a battered large bag kind of tucked underneath some of the furs. As you kind of lift up the furs with your glaive, like creatures crawl away into the darkness. They're huge and it's kind of disturbing, but they don't seem to attack you.
I also, any that I can slap, I want to slap them with my glaive.
You squash a good bunch.
Okay.
And you can manage to kind of...
Oh, I wonder, can I eat some of them?
I mean, you can, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, this might be dinner for you. That's a good.
They are bugs, and I am a frog.
Actually, you don't have the I think there's a prehensile tongue option for a grippli, but you do have a tongue. So.
I am not using it prehensilely. It is just ejecting and coming back, so I am not using it like...
Right. You have a long tongue, but you can get one that's ridiculously long, which is really quite cool.
I think it's Gene Simmons' feet, right?
So Buligup is wandering across the furs, chewing slowly as he picks up some crunchy bugs. You see that the bag has like a battered, thick, like leather handle. You can kind of scoop it with your glaive if you want to kind of pull it back to you.
I will pull it back because I don't want to walk totally into the furs because I don't know what's in there.
Right. You pull the bag back. It's pretty big, this bag, but you pull it back to you. It's quite heavy.
Oh, Buligup's pulled several bags in his day, so.
I'm also worried about the crabs I might get in there. I don't need to go through that again.
That's right. You get the bag back to you. It's heavy. You think there's a good weight of something inside of here.
I want to also poke it with the glaive. I think you know why, Hal. Does it bleed?
No, it doesn't, and it doesn't bite you either.
Okay.
And apparently everyone drinks.
Cheers!
Thanks, Thranduil.
Thanks, Thranduil.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
I'd just like to say, Thing, if you're drinking Tweak, I've had that. There's another one as well that they do. That was a different version of Tweak.
Oh yeah, Avery's got several. And I love their was it the not dictator line? They're like Maharaja and the Reverend.
They sometimes have them down here in the Regal Beagle.
Mm.
I gotta visit Texas. I want to visit Texas.
I would like to,
You should visit Texas.
Hey.
I want to visit friends
And
in
then you
Texas.
should all come to Nevada.
Who the hell
I would
wants to
like
go to
walk
Nevada?
the bag over to Kiernan and be like, I found this in the pile. Make sure it's not going to explode when you open it. And then just kind of back away.
Well, he might suspect something, so he got a closer look than I did. So yeah, absolutely, I'll do a perception detect traps.
I'm betting the Etten wasn't that sophisticated, but
I don't know. I just
You don't think it's trapped?
All right, so I'll open it then. What's in it?
You open it. Inside, there's a number of silver discs, and there's a pair of what looks like large metal shoes.
that sounds like a call for knowledge engineering.
I'll high five Buligup. Good work, my friend. Even though I'm on my knees looking in the bag, high five is like where I'm at now.
I am not very tall. That is true.
Knowledge engineering of what?
I need to get to the right tab.
I can assist. I have a decent knowledge engineering.
30.
Jeez.
Wow. The chunky looking boots that they pull out of the bag are what you suspect to be mag boots.
And probably time worn, I would guess.
They are indeed time worn mag boots.
All right. Put them on the sell pile.
Put them on the sell pile.
Well, unless you want to walk up metal walls for a number of rounds.
Hey, that could be a spider climb ability, right?
Actually, these are better than that because you actually don't need to use your hands. You walk up metal. Gives you a plus 10. Actually, what it does is it grants a plus 10 circumstance bonus to climb checks on metal surfaces.
Oh, wow. That's,
right. But then they short out and die forever.
Yeah, I'm thinking paying Alexander a premium on those slippers of spider climb because that sounds like sick OP for me. Because this last fight kind of showed me my mobility limitations.
I mean, the other option at this point is you're getting to a level where fly is becoming accessible, so you might just want to just avoid spider climb and jump straight to flying.
I do have that spell.
Yeah, well, that's like what, once per encounter module?
I mean, how many times do you need to fly or spider climb?
All the time.
Okay. I mean,
hey, someone who's a melee fighter, like a barbarian or a rogue, mobility's everything. You get fucking arachnid robots on walls. I did jack shit last fight. I picked up a dropped pistol, and that's the only reason why I could do anything.
You will also be walking through the world wearing slippers.
Yeah, that's true. You will be wearing slippers. And they're the ones with the curly toes with the bells on as well.
And I will rock those slippers. Don't make no mistake.
Okay, so you have mag boots, which are... yeah, and also you have... So digging through the silver discs inside of here, you actually find that there are 11 batteries in and amongst them.
Nice. And quick count of the silver discs.
390
silver discs.
Excellent.
Yeah, silver discs.
Holy crap! That's a fortune.
I mean,
that's like a Thor and Oaken shield.
I mean, it's a small amount of money compared to the other amount of silver discs you're toting around, I think.
It's not bad.
I have 53 personally on my person, so.
The party inventory has a fair amount because Kolgara had a large stash.
She did.
I've been going over the party inventory on a spreadsheet, so I'm prepared for when we sell things.
Which is coming, I think, at some point soon, hopefully. There's going to be some shopping, or at least some selling of things. Whether we do it in sesh or out of sesh.
Yeah, I had a bunch of charged batteries. I'm trying to find them. I have 15 batteries.
I mean, batteries are worth 100 gold each.
Yep.
Well, but I have different things I charge, like my e-picks and stuff, but yeah.
That you've used like 4 or 5 times in
they hold 10 charges, right? E-picks.
Yeah.
I have not used many batteries, but I've tended to collect them, and I no longer collect them because I feel I have more than I need. In fact, speaking of batteries, does Buligup have enough batteries? Because we can A, charge them, B, your gravity clip uses them. How are you doing on batteries?
I have 1 10-charge battery, and I have 5 charges in my gravity clip.
When we get us back upstairs, if the big battery's up there, I can top you off with my power cable.
I like that. It's just like I can charge you up with the cable.
Rare.
All right. So you've done down here, yes? What are you doing?
Is there
next?
anything else in this room?
No, not really. It looks like it lived in this corner and you killed it, so now it's dead.
I think to the control room to see if we can retrieve the inhibitor facet in case we need to use it on Unity.
Okay, the facet is still locked onto the console
Where
you left it.
Are there any rooms in the excavator that we did not go in? I honestly do not remember.
I don't think so. I think you actually basically searched everywhere.
Okay.
I think it's there in the battery room and then up to the Coliseum.
So this facet is locked in. Basically, you clip it in and the thing holds it in place.
I would like to see if I can unlock it.
Can I help with a disabled device maybe to jimmy it so it doesn't immediately short itself out or whatever?
You can if you want. How are you approaching it? What are you doing to it?
Well, I'm trying to, again, Kiernan's probably smarter than I am, but I'm going to try to ground it so that it doesn't cause a feedback loop to short it and burn it out as a circuit board, but I'm going to try to remove it and not just violently.
So it's like a USB stick slipped into a port, except for that port basically is holding the thing quite tightly.
Right. So that would be a standard disabled device, like a pick lock kind of thing.
Sure.
I think. You tell me if I'm bullshitting here, right?
No, I'm happy for you to make a disabled device check to try and get this facet out of this hole.
I also have some disabled device if you want me to assist, or a knowledge engineering to try and
28. I rolled a 28 to jimmy it. So
I see a 23, 25. Where's the 8 coming from?
The +3 for like traps and things like that.
Does that add to
just straight lock?
Because
it says locks and traps.
Yeah, it's not a lock or a trap. It's just the thing you're getting out.
25 then.
Okay, you play with it and you jiggle it and it really ain't moving.
Shit, really? Oh, geez. All right.
Can I do some knowledge engineering to see if we can figure out what the release mechanism is? Or
actually, I didn't roll decent. Can I try again? Because I can actually use my. I will use my. What is it called? The Asmodeus trait.
34 engineering to.
So these things are purposefully designed to basically be stuck in here. You can get them out, but it takes essentially brute force or fiddling around with a disabled device to pry it out. They're designed to be, because they're sometimes stuck inside of robots and.
Right. You don't want an AI removing it once you've stuck it in the AI's.
Well, or you don't want it just kind of easily being brushed off as it wanders around, or you don't want it easily being removed. So it is designed to be like this.
I would like to humorously kind of climb up on the control module and try to pull it out with brute force.
Well,
Can
can I try
a strength check?
But I mean, I
do
got
it
this, guys.
disabled.
I got this.
Disable device again though before. Like, what's the rules for that?
What?
Can I do a disable device before that though? Because I rolled really bad. I have a plus 17 to the roll, which is pretty good, right? So I want to try again, but I also have that inspired faith feat that I can re-roll failed checks, right?
Okay. I don't know what that does.
Just lets him roll again.
Okay, roll again.
Roll again. So I didn't know if that was something that, like, what are the rules for rolling again outside of combat? Can I just try again, right?
So with skill checks, it depends on the skill check and it depends on how big you fucked up, right?
Right. Which
Once per day as a free action, roll twice and take the better result. It doesn't let you roll again. You have to roll twice. As in, you
roll with advantage.
Decide before you roll when you use it. It's not a re-roll. Benefit once per day as a free action, roll twice and take the better result on the skill check or ability check.
It gives you advantage.
Oh, I've actually been using that incorrectly then in the past. So okay.
Okay, so from now on, you're going to tell me when you do it, and we roll 2 dice.
No,
okay.
yeah, because I've effed up on that in the past. So thanks for correcting me.
You're welcome. Buligup.
I would like to spit on my hands, and I grab it with all my might.
All your might of 10 strength?
You could break it.
I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it.
I did a 29 this time. I don't know if that helps. If not, let him pull it.
You attempt to fiddle it, and you almost get it there.
With all my might, I yank furiously.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, are you pulling on yourself? Or...
my God!
With a 6, you heave, and nothing moves. Literally nothing.
I want to say I was well aware that if I pulled on this, nothing was gonna happen.
That's almost as bad as I would do.
Just like.
Yeah, I mean, you're a tiny frogman that weighs about 25 pounds.
I know, that's why I did it. It's funny.
This is like we sword in the stone.
We love physical comedy, like our hero Jerry Lewis. From
Raven.
Can Alexander aid me in my disable device? Because he doesn't have insignificant skill in this arena, actually.
He gives me my character sheet.
I bet a Kez2 could have pulled this out.
I mean, I could pull strength somebody or
all right.
If you do a disable device, Alexander, it might give me, if you roll higher than 10, it gives me a, was it a +2 or +4?
I'm willing to try. 13.
All right, so I get a +2 to this roll, I want to say. 33 + 2 is 5.
Okay, you eventually manage, with both of you working at it, to release the facet from the console.
As soon as it comes loose, Buligup goes, you are welcome. I loosened it up for you.
You're totally feed that player ego. You're absolutely right, Buligup. Thank you very much. Gives him a high five again. Which is actually a low 5 for him, but it's the like Peyton.
What were you saying, Thing?
Oh, I was just saying he was our technology removing fluffer, but I guess it's
right
to the battery room.
He warmed it up for you.
Oh, that was so close to coming out the nose.
Yeah.
Wait! I heard a couple knocks. I heard a couple knocks on the glory hole. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm supposed to?
It depends. Are the feet sticking out from under the? Oh.
Jesus. Okay, so you now have the inhibitor facet back.
That's the explicit rating. There you go.
That's potentially expensive if we ever wanted to sell it, but since we're
honestly, I have no price on them. They're considered technological artifacts.
Like the thing we got in the first adventure.
Yeah, it's super weird. It keeps giving you stuff I have no sale price for, which is confusing.
1 million.
If Alexander if Alexander worked on it with minor help from Kiernan, we might be able to reprogram it to do the same to Unity if we can figure that out.
Well, it's designed to disable AIs, which I believe Unity is, although probably a even more advanced version than Hellion.
Yeah, so.
In fact, the record in the Envoy's mouthpiece specifically said to disable the Unity AI.
Ooh. So having it work on Hellion this good was just a fringe benefit.
Bidding Hellion being Unity's son means he's a somewhat limited or inferior copy of. Not that I truly understand what AI is, although I'm thinking it's more of like a technology spirit or ghost of a non-corporeal entity that can inhabit technology.
Technology ghosts, I like that.
It's a poltergeist.
It's a working theory.
I like that's funny. Okay, so you have the facet.
Is that
What are you
where
doing?
that comes from?
I would like to go up to the battery room.
Okay, there are batteries in the battery room.
Can we take the batteries with us?
They are incredibly heavy.
How incredibly heavy?
Really, really heavy. Like strength check heavy.
He sounds like Neil from the
like,
really heavy.
Like maybe 1,500 to 2,000 pounds heavy.
Oh dear. That's bigger than
I mean, they're person-sized batteries. They're huge and they're heavy.
Yeah, they'd be like lead-based or lithium.
I could animate dead on Drig's corpse and have her carry them.
I like it. I like it. Do it.
I mean, you think Dregs could lift it? I mean, clearly they got it down here somehow.
This could actually change the balance of power with the gangs in Scrapwall, depending on who we deliver it to.
Well, and I have a zombie minion to carry things for me then.
Yep.
How long does that last?
I think it's fairly permanent.
I think it is too. Can you do it on a giant?
I think it is a humanoid, which giants are. I think they're a humanoid subtype. It might. I don't know. That's a good question.
Regardless of undead type, you can't create more HD of undead than twice your caster level with a single casting. I don't know. I've got a scroll from Marrow, I believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what caster level it is.
I think Marrow was 5th level.
So I can
Maybe
do 10
6?
hit dice then maybe with it.
Let me check for Marrow.
Oh, so everyone drinks, but Acid Honey has to drink twice.
It is also one of the spells I know, but I do not have the Onyx gems that I know of yet. So
the Onyx gems. Marrow was a level 6 caster.
And it came off her, so it might have listed a caster level with the treasure, but I don't have it recorded.
I have 2 scrolls of Animate Dead. I do not have. I'm going to assume she wrote them herself, so let's assume it's a 6th level caster.
All right. If Drig's body is still there, I would like to animate dead Drig's.
How did you kill Drig's?
I thought I backstabbed her for the final blow.
I think you just stabbed her to death, didn't
we stabbed her, a lot. So
yeah. If I didn't do the final blow, I thought I did the most damage. Or Buligup and I together.
What I'm asking is, did you substantively damage her? But I don't think you did.
I think it would mostly be stab wounds. I don't think there was any sort of major trauma because Ikestu was dead and we didn't use any more. No, it's true.
You're right. She's right. I mean, Ikestu would have done a lot of trauma. Let's not lie.
I think we used the hold person and then just stabs the shit out of her.
Stab the shit out of it's true. Let's not lie. 1 or more corpses touched. The spell turns corpses into undead or zombies. The undead must follow your orders, blah, 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 blah. No save, no resistance, just a corpse, and the duration is instantaneous. So you have a giant zombie until it basically dies.
Ooh.
Regardless of the undead type.
I would like to submit that Kiernan is slowly trying to poke, and push Alexander more towards the evil spectrum as part of his religious devotion to Asmodeus.
I mean, he's not going to get an evil check from this because it's not evil to him. It literally is just a sack of meat he is using.
I agree, but it's one step towards the greater goal, and Kiernan is
sure.
It's just it'd be wasteful not to use the resources we have.
It is more efficient this way. It's part of Kiernan's grand plan.
Okay, so
just wait until you die.
You create a gigantic zombie.
And I don't believe my command actually relies on my charisma, which is super.
So you can control a number of undead equal to 4 hit dice worth of undead per caster level.
And that would be at the scroll caster level.
Well, no, because the control is off of the...
It's on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
right.
I can control 24 hit dice.
So the spell is off the scroll and is cast at that level, but his actual ability to manage undead is based on his own caster level.
Now, I may have to start doing some gentle repose so she doesn't smell so bad, but you know.
Yeah, it's not lie here.
Are you capable of animating multiple dead people, or is it just a one?
Theoretically, yes.
I mean, at level 6, he can do what? What is
24 hit dice?
Yeah, 24 hit dice.
I would say gentle repose and a couple of prestidigitation to clean things and to fix things up. You could essentially make her almost, and maybe even a cure light wounds here and there might be able to.
Cure light will kill it.
Yeah.
Well, cure
it's undead.
Cause wounds than to seal it up. It might make it a little bit less bone rib shooting out the chest.
I mean, it's a zombie. It looks like a zombie. It walks like a zombie.
Yes. Either way,
it's got dead eyes. It is
either
a dead
way.
Creature.
Major street cred to our stuff that one of the undead or one of the major lords of rust is now our undead minion.
Yeah. What's our scrap worth on this, bitch?
What about the troll? The troll that is in the arena. If we need another pack mule,
or not Kogara. Kogara was the orc. The troll was Dregs.
Oh shoot.
We can probably get her chariot or a cart from that prep center.
What? What are you yelling?
I'm just saying, perhaps we can reanimate the troll if we need another undead pack mule.
Hellscrag.
Hellscrag.
Sure, then we could lash them both to the cart that pulls the batteries and all the rest of our gear.
Jesus.
That should give us some scrap worth.
I mean, you've already got plenty of scrap worth, I think.
True, and
we fucking murdered a god. I would like to think that we have some sort of scrap worth.
So you're totally okay with zombies?
I mean, I have no problem with it. You as a party.
No, I'm Buligup. I can't have robots, but he's okay with me having zombies, right?
I mean, we have heavy shit to lift. I mean, what do you want me to do? I can't pick it up myself.
Okay.
And also, I am not so much in the idea that we should make a bunch of zombies all over the place, but the giant things that try to kill me, fuck them.
Jesus.
I got a zombie yet.
Am I gonna have to stat this thing?
Well, it could be with me for the rest of my life if I'm careful. So yes.
Right, I'll stat up a zombie Etten for you.
I might have to get armor made.
And the Twitch chat is speculating if a giant zombie is on Kiernan's hedonist bucket list.
That's fun.
And we'll leave that to the chat, whether that's true or not. So
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there are.
It's a large bucket list. I said that it was on the list after the threesome with halflings, but
Oh yes, but you haven't banged a Xill either. You passed up that chance.
I didn't pass up that chance. You were just more efficient than I expected, so it's my bad. I won't underestimate you again, you buzzkill.
I will apply the zombie template to Dregs and create her as a zombie for you.
Thank you. I have a minion.
Create them as a zombie for you, because there's actually 2 of them.
Yeah, I guess I should knock off both scrolls. Or no, or are you saying Dregs is 2 people?
No, the body's only one thing.
Okay.
So it was 2 technically them, just in one body, but they lose all those abilities, so it's just a hunk of meat that you're moving around with magic.
And really, the zombie has the whole move action or standard action, so it'd probably be only 1 head.
All right, so we need...
It's staggered, right, all the time, so...
Oh, well, but she can still carry batteries, so we need to carry batteries upstairs, find a cart or possibly the chariot that...
This whole thing with Alexander reminds me of that scene in Indiana Jones with Sulla. I said no camels, but Indy, my brother, is compensation for his car.
So you actually resurrecting her makes her stronger.
Oh God! Oh God!
Nice.
It's under his
control. Tell us.
So your zombie giant has an effective strength of 25 right now.
Whoa!
If that's not enough for the batteries, I can bull strength her.
Right?
Or enlarge personer, because I believe she's still a person.
No, not as a zombie. It's undead template now. It no longer applies.
Okay.
Its creature type changes to undead when you make it a zombie.
Okay, then I could still bull strength her if she needs more for.
Although it does retain any subtype it has, so its subtype is probably giant. Yeah. So it would be zombie giant. It's zombie giant or undead giant.
Okay.
Nice, good work. So
okay, so let's assure Hal that this won't break the game. Otherwise, we're gonna have like, you guys happen to run into town.
Hang on. It's not breaking nothing. It has 25 strength, but it has a dex of 6, and its hit points have dropped. And it's just a zombie. It either moves or attacks in the round. It doesn't get 2 attacks.
We can buff it, and if anything, it's a massive meat shield.
I mean, it's big, but it doesn't have all that many hit points.
And it can walk all our stuff back to Torch along with us.
It's really the same as
too.
It's like a cart with. Yeah, it's like a cart pulled by 2 donkeys. Donkey, make me waffles.
So now load the cart with the batteries and whatever monitors and other stuff we look like we could pull free that look good.
Yeah, so we look like the bankrupt Radio Shack down the street.
And then I think we either need to stop by Hawk Palace and or the Temple of Cogs.
I mean, I think that I don't know how much Hal wants to hand wave, but I also think Buligup and maybe Kiernan, maybe even Tatia, want to at least do a diplomacy, hey, hope everything's cool, see you, we love you, kissy kissy to the Kellans. Because I think we had actually a good relationship with them for future role-playing.
Tatia would agree that the more positive diplomatic relationships that we could have with different groups would be to our benefit, either now or in the future or never. But any opportunity that we pass by is totally missed. So I agree. We should do that.
I would also rather have potential allies than enemies waiting in the wings.
Sure. So Hal, up to you. How much we want to role play versus...
I mean, it's up to you. What are you trying to do? You're just going to go visit them, then fair enough. We can just say you do. But if you actually want to achieve something...
Yeah, we want to foster relationships and just keep the relationship going from a...
Okay, they're happy to see you. They are a little upset by the fact that you're being followed around by a gigantic zombie, but...
What do we have to do to keep our zombie in check?
Nothing. Alexander.
I mean, Alex does exactly what Alexander tells it to do.
So then why would they be upset about our giant zombie? Wouldn't they be like, whoa? Like, what if we make the zombie do tricks like juggle?
Some people
really unnatural.
Yeah, some people don't like animated dead. Just like some people don't like robots.
What if we made the animated dead less terrifying?
I mean, it's not terrifying because it's an animated dead. It's terrifying because it's now a soulless hunk of meat that's being controlled by someone else. It is, to them, immensely disrespectful of the dead.
And some of the gods that control the dead find this incredibly offensive too. So,
Aww.
I'm not saying that it's not a terrible thing to do, and it is not something we should make a habit of. But like, if you accidentally bang your cousin, I mean, you can't take it back. You already banged her, so sometimes you bang your cousin every now and again.
Okay.
But you don't make a habit of it.
Speaking from the Texas native, but
everybody gets confused in the spawning pool, is what he's saying.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if Tatia might have, like, her sick diplomacy check or whatever. Would she have pre-known that potential issue or sticky wicket? We're just trying to get through this so we don't take up.
I mean, the Hellions are fine with it. I mean, they themselves are not a perfect example of what they should be. I mean, their leader has an artificial arm, which they also do not agree with. So, I mean,
he's like the Rocket Raccoon of the group. Hey, I want his arm.
That cybernetic arm is worth a chunk of fucking money.
Don't worry about it. It's not. We are not going to go around bringing the dead back. We just needed someone to move a bunch of batteries, and there was a corpse of someone who tried to kill us. So it is okay, Kelly. Don't worry about it.
Actually, I lied. Cybernetic arms are pretty cheap.
I can't regrow him a natural arm, but technically, with craft wondrous item, I could achieve a necrograph, and I do have.
Oh, right, because that's just as bad. Just in a different direction.
Kellens hate technology. I don't know how they feel about undead. It might be preferable for him to have a undead Etten arm.
I think so.
Okay, I just wanted to offer.
He's got used to this one, and you can't remove the cybernetic arm without a cyber lab and craft cyber tech anyway.
Yes, I can. That just requires an axe.
Now, does the arm, does the necrocrafting, if we chop the arm off somebody who is living and the person stays alive, is it still necromancy? I mean, nobody is dead.
Well, you're still animating the arm to work like a normal arm, so and the arm will rot because it's not actually technically connected to the...
I'm just asking questions here. I do not understand all of this.
So instead of having a nice, clean cybernetic arm that he hates, he'd have a rotten somebody else's arm that he would hate.
So maybe we don't offer him that option.
I just don't know. Culturally, I know they hate technology, so I wanted to offer an option that was a non-technological solution because I can't do a pure, clean regrow arm, a real arm yet.
Right.
But I'm willing to come back when I learn how to do so.
I'm so looking forward to you getting like a cybernetics lab or something like that, and like trying to replace like Buligup's eyes or something.
Have y'all? Okay, so maybe it's just me, but do any of y'all read the Harley Quinn comics?
Yes,
some of them.
Okay, so I don't know why, but this is making me think about whenever they go to the zombie. There's like a zombie apocalypse on Coney Island, and she accidentally chops off Red Tool's arm, and they replace it with the arm of this guy who was like a serial flasher. And to keep him from freaking out, they told him that the guy who liked to masturbate in front of people was left-handed and not right-handed, but now he's having really weird twinges in his arm. Just saying, you should read it. It's funny and I love it, and I just wish that I could express myself like she does all the time.
You could use your left arm or your right arm to masturbate in front of the team, I guess. Whatever.
No, that guy ended up dead, and that's why they were able to give his arm to Red.
That would be a deterrent. Yes, very true. Which is funny because you said that story right when Hal put up the. Why not visit the website for thousands of tabletop actual?
Actually, I don't do that. Nightbot does that.
Nightbot. This is true. It is very random. That stupid Nightbot. I mean,
Nightbot does do that.
Nightbot. Thank you for doing your job, Nightbot.
Nightbot is doing what Nightbot is supposed to do.
Right?
It's not the bot we deserve. It's the bot we need.
That's right. That's right. Nightbot is doing Nightbot's job. Visit the website, says Nightbot.
So I think we should.
And visit the Patreon, says Nightbot.
Are we done talking to the Khalids?
The Khalids are happy. They seem to have redressed the place. There's like furs all over. They've cleaned it, and it's starting to look. There seems to be more of them than there was before.
Good for them.
They reproduce fast.
Well, no, that seems like more. I think fully grown ones have arrived out of the wilderness.
I think we should tell Denvaya about the robot that has all the claws and shit. You might want the parts for her.
The slide bot.
Yeah, I think we should tell Denvaya of the.
Yes, we need to speak to Denvaya and the very hot leader of the Steelhawks. Several Slade.
The Steelhawks will take over the place, but Denvaya might appreciate the technology.
Well, I believe the Red Tooth Raiders were actually above the Steelhawks in the pecking order.
Before we killed everybody above them.
Right. So they're going to move, but the Red Tooth Raiders will probably stay above. I don't know how they're going to sort out the order. Not really our problem if we're not going to stick around and open a tavern here.
I mean, the Khalids are here too now, right? Maybe they'll have something to say.
Who run Khalid Town?
Right.
All right, so let's move through town, bitches. Where are we going now?
The Palace of Cogs or Steelhawk Palace?
Steelhawk Palace.
I think we should go see Denvaya and let her know in case she wants those pieces for the scrapbook.
And also in case she wants to have sex with a hero.
True. And I should see if she's discovered my message rat yet, or if I need to relay information in person to her. I should probably fill in more detail because there's probably more information that I could relay on a rat.
About how you want to discover touching humans?
She's a half-elf, but more knowledge I've discovered about Hellion.
That's right. Okay.
But it's a basic principle of the religion of Bry that knowledge should be recorded and not lost. And we've discovered some knowledge about ancient technology, Hellion, Unity, Silvermount, Cassandra, and many other things, the existence of AIs. That I should relay to her for preservation.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you return to the Clockwork Palace, is it? Whatever the hell it's called.
Temple, something.
Clockwork Chapel, whatever it is. Where are you? Denvaya. There she is. Clockwork Chapel.
Hot elf of Bride.
She has an awful mullet, though.
She's a half elf. It can only,
She has a mullet?
She has
It's
like
not
this
really
terrible, like blunt cut across the fringe, and then.
That's because she's like.
Let me look at that picture again, because I thought she looked. That's not a fucking mullet.
Really? Because it's definitely longer in the back.
She cuts her own hair because she's about efficiency.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like Lego hair. Let's not lie.
Well, it's longer in the back, yes. But the difference is that she's got hair that is longer on the sides.
Oh, so
she's got the sloped bangs on her brow line,
so
which has obviously been tweaked.
She has layers. She just has layers cut into her hair. Like my hair, I've got pieces that are shorter in the front. They're tiny here, and then they like almost touch my butt in the back.
Right. So, but that fringe is disgustingly awful.
She's got goggles.
Shut up! You
Most
know
of the
nothing.
members
She
of
is
the party have
adorable and
goggles.
she has crystal blue eyes.
Right. It's an awful fringe.
Okay. Go on.
You arrive at the Clockwork Chapel. Oh, I heard myself. Twice.
Echo, go, 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 go.
It's not
doing
me. I
that?
was muted.
Hello.
Yes, it is.
Oh, we're good. No, I'm good. That was super weird. So you arrive at the Clockwork Chapel to find Dinvaya and her junk golem stood outside, and there is a cart loaded with her things.
Like she's
Bonjour.
Moving?
Hello, hi, welcome. I hear you're leaving and going back to Torch. I thought I would come with you.
Excellent. It is a town probably clean of technically people.
I never trust that, but it has been a while since I saw my friends, so I will go back for a while. I may return here. I'll lock the place up and leave the golem in charge while I leave, but if you wouldn't mind, I would like to accompany you.
Yeah, the priest of Brian. The priest of Brian Torch just told us to give us you a message, but if you're coming
you already did. You already did that. That's who she's going to see.
Well, I know, but I'm just role playing, right? I'm just saying, like in character. Hey, we just were tasked to give a message, but if you're coming back with us, that's bonus.
Did you get my rat?
Yes, that's part of the reason I'm ready here for you.
We did defeat Hellion.
Very good. I heard several people ran by and told me. Apparently, you're all the rage at the moment.
And the red ghost is gone.
Yes, I see you've adopted a new assistant.
There are a lot of spare parts down there if you want to upgrade your golem. There was a giant spider. We killed it heroically, and there are like pinchers and shit down there if you want them.
I will go back down there at some point, but I think for now a little bit of a change.
So Tatia is super excited to have gal pal on the journey, and so she goes up to Dinvaya and she puts her arms over her shoulders, and she says, "Hey, girlfriend, I'm so excited you've come."
And she already has braids. You don't have to braid each other's hair yet.
Right. Dinvaya puts one hand on her warhammer and just stares at you.
We're going to be best buddies.
She looks doubtful.
Tatia wants to roll to see if she can persuade her by hitting on her.
Yeah, I mean, it's sense motive if she's straight, bi, pan. You know,
Is that how it works in real life? You just sense motive and you know.
I think so.
Is that a motive?
Apparently that's a motive. Maybe that's how Bill works, right? It's always a motive. He's got his
target.
target.
Suck at that skill.
He's got his potential victim, and that's what he's gonna do.
It's only because Pathfinder is limited and real life is not.
Diplomacy.
I don't feel like it's really that. It's a cute dog.
Do you want
as soon as anybody leaves the couch, the dog jumps to the top of it. There's some discipline there.
I think it needs longer legs, though.
Do you want us to talk to our Kellett friends? Maybe have him come by and check on the place every once in a while?
The golem will keep people out, I think. Most people wouldn't come here anyway.
You don't want to bring your golem with you?
No, I don't think so. There's a few traps in there, too. It's probably best to keep the kids out.
As we journey, I would love to discuss magic and various things with you.
Okay. I'm sure we can do that. When are we listening?
I mean, as a priestess of Bri, surely you're interested in seeing how android anatomical parts work.
People aren't taking me apart, Kiernan. Stop asking.
Androids are interesting. I've
seen how you work.
I've spoken to androids previously. They're interesting.
All you've done is spoken. There's a lot more to androids than speaking to them. I kind of elbow elbow Alexander, give him a wink, trying to give him the eat his feet.
Blink.
You have to forgive our friends. You know, sometimes they only have a one-track mind.
Yes, so that's really nice. Let's get going at some point. Whenever you're ready, I'll meet you at the main gates.
We should probably.
Kiernan, make me a fort save, will you?
A fort save?
Yeah.
Oh.
What kind of fort save?
Oh.
What kind of fort save? It actually does matter.
A fort save. Just make me a fort save.
But I have a reflex. I have that trait that
you aren't dodging this. Just make me a fort save.
Well,
19.
Okay.
When you're an addict, and I'm pretty sure
we got to roll that.
I'm pretty sure way back when we were under Torch, something affected you too that has been lurking.
Yeah, well, I mean, role playing wise, I want to role play it. Do I know?
You know nothing. You feel okay. It's all right.
Okay.
You're doing all right.
It's like I can't offer to cure your addiction until I know you're addicted either. You know.
And I can't ask if I don't know either. So I'm just trying to role play like fairly, right? So all good.
I suppose since Severus Slade is an ally, we should talk to her and inform of our intentions to leave town, because that is something we do with allies in our current protocols.
And also, she's the group that's guarding the gate, so she's on the way out.
Yep. And quite honestly, I think we've had a good relationship, excellent relationship with the Crimson Raiders, right? Red Tooth Raiders.
Well, yes, we could probably talk to Red Tooth too.
I mean, I think that we want.
So, do you have any specific things, or should we just say you say goodbye to everybody and everybody's sad that you're leaving?
Well, Kiernan might want to try and bang a rat folk. I mean,
you're saying that's not already checked off on the bucket list. Just saying. Yeah.
I mean, they've got that ability to swarm over the same square, so I'm sure that's an experience you've never had before.
Here.
Does he really occupy a full square?
I mean, Kiernan probably not, no.
I'm looking at the rewards and challenges on Twitch, and I don't see that swarm sex challenge. Is that a new level for the Bitcoin there?
What are you doing?
He wants a sex swarm to redeem his coins on for Twitch.
Sex swarm. I like that.
Sex swarm. That's not. Hey, he has standards. It's not like just anybody. Come on.
You've seen a Rat King, right?
Yeah, that would sully the role-playing opportunities here with Tatia. Seriously, come on. Don't make this cheap.
Kiernan would sex a Rat King in a heartbeat.
Maybe 2 heartbeats. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So, what are we doing? Are you done? Are you saying goodbye to everyone? If you're not actually
I think we're heading back to.
So you're taking the chariot, or did you have a cart at some point? I think you did, right?
We had a cart.
I believe we did.
So
you have a with 2 donkeys, but I'd like to go to the. I mean, this is just a hand wave, but to role play, I'd like to say goodbye to the Saren Ray contingent.
Yes, we have to pick up our mounts there too. I have Artax, and you have.
That's where they're at. Yep.
Yes.
Roach. Yep. Roach.
You can both make me a knowledge religion check, please.
Roger.
They're not going to like that I have a zombie, I'm pretty sure.
Well, we're not going to show them. Well, okay, we should say that, right?
It's a 10-foot tall zombie.
22.
22, yes. Yes. Paladins of Saren Ray are not going to appreciate that zombie.
Park the Etten on the other side of the river, out of sight. Tell her to guard the cart and contents.
That's funny. Park the Etten.
Yeah, I want a cannon whenever the Etten backs up. It goes beep, beep, beep.
So, yeah, retrieve our mounts, tell the Knights of Saren Ray that we're finally departing the area, that the threat of Hellion has been removed.
And the threat of the Smilers to come back and harass them further is gone as well. At least mostly gone.
Do they grow crops or
Who?
the Saranites? I know they were rather low on supplies originally.
They have started. They have like a small it's a small garden inside the walls at this point, but they generally rely on supplies. That was the problem they were having. Their supplies hadn't managed to get through.
I mean, I would love to give them my remaining rations. I still have goo tubes, but I have some rations that I've not used since I got my ring of regeneration or ring of sustenance.
But Bertie Bott's goo tubes.
I've got plenty of goo tubes, and I would also like to cast spontaneously plant growth for them if they're growing crops.
Are there any other mend holes that you need to do for the surrounding walls? I'm not telling you to. I'm just wondering if you want to fortify their position anymore.
Well, no. I mean, if we're going to spend the night there, I'd spend whatever I can on make holes to help making their place more secure. But
yeah, with the time that we spent, I only have 3 days worth of rations left, so I don't think I'd give any of mine up.
I don't need to eat anymore, so I'm willing to give up the remaining of my rations.
I do eat more. And you can always hunt like metal snakes in the wilderness to eat, right?
Right, because that everyone knows you need iron as part of your nutrients, right?
I mean, you can always buy rations in scrap wall before leaving if you don't have a lot.
I still have,
and also remember, there's also a way back to Torch by boat. Wasn't there a river trip as well you could make?
Yeah, I believe close to Torch at least, because there's the river now.
I think there's a river between Torch and Scrap. I'll have to get the map.
Gosh, I've got tons of goo tubes actually for rations.
I've got so many goo tubes. It's a disgusting pile of.
Yeah, I have tons.
That's a lot of. Numeria. Let's see here.
Yeah, because we're along the one major river, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So you have to go all the way south and then back up to Torch. There's no direct route. So you could take the river, or you can cut across the.
But wait, don't go across the river or the swamp. Artax.
Yeah. There.
Yeah. So he's so for those on the audio only, he's showing us the map of Numeria. And it's quite awesome.
Isn't it, though? So you see where Torch is, the end of that river, and then if you follow it south and then round and back north, you'll get to Scrap Wall.
Yes. And, Torch and then Choking Tower between us and
Iandenve,
which is the last place that Cassandra was known to
be. And then there's also Starfall and Silver Mount and all of that nonsense up the north.
Yes, but that does not terrify me because I do not know fear. It concerns me going to Starfall and Silver Mount.
And then obviously to the top left there we have the World Wound.
Yes, that has its other problems.
I thought that was where I entered Galarian, but
I mean, it's possible.
So make sense with the Sun Rays, give them a present of plant growth and whatever, make holes I can.
Wait, you're raping them? What? Make hole? What? Oh, you mean the spell? Oh, okay.
So you spend time helping the Saranites. It seems like they're in a better place than they were before. They're still understaffed, so to speak. There's very few of them here. But it seems like they do have some supplies that have been delivered to them.
Do they need any leather armor or other things that we have?
I think they
shit that we don't want to carry anymore.
They have armor and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, you could have sold some stuff in Scrap Wall if you'd wanted, but your better option for trade, I think, is Torch.
Yeah. And now that weight in our cart is not too much of an option as long as the Etna remains animated.
Mm-hmm.
How long will it take us to get to Torch?
I mean, Ettins aren't fast, but I mean, then your donkey wasn't fast either.
Okay, cool. So then what do we do for now in the meantime? Do we just kind of go day by day until we get there?
Yes. Random encounters, get more XP.
Sweet. I'm all right.
Sounds good to me. It'll take you, what was it, 3 days to get from?
I thought it was 3 days, but
I think it's 3
or 4 days, something like that.
Well, we were moving faster on cart, but if we have a zombie that can't fit on the cart.
I think it's 3 or 4 days. Well, the zombie's pulling the cart, or one of the carts, isn't it?
Yes.
It can, but we've got a couple of donkeys, so yeah, whatever. Makes sense.
And then there's Dinvaya, who's got her own little cart.
What pulls her cart?
It's some kind of, it's not really a horse, but it's just some legs. There's like legs on the front of her cart that just mechanically move forward.
Awesome. I'm going to analyze it from a magical and a technological standpoint.
Yeah. And Kiernan is not anywhere near as good, but he is definitely interested as a hobbyist, and he's going to do the same.
Okay. It's mostly a clockwork device, it seems. It's mechanical, mostly mechanical. You think there's a little magic in there too?
Kind of turning the clockwork gear as opposed to having to manually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll compare notes with Alexander and gravitate towards him. I honestly, Kiernan, role-playing wise, is bonding with Alexander, or at least from his perspective. And so from watches and stuff, he'll watch when Alexander watches, or chat shop with him to try to get some of that synergy, you know?
Well, I need an hour a night, so, and I don't suffer from fatigue or exhaustion. Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to research spells, so I can. I just think that I'd like to learn more about engineering. I mean, I'm pretty good at this stuff, but not as good as you because you're specialized in it, right? So it's just a role-playing thing. We can move on.
Okay. You travel back towards Torch. I'm assuming you do what you normally do, and you watch and all of that nonsense.
Hopefully we can kill a arachnid bot or two and, get our remaining XP to get to level 8.
It's like no experience you need, is it?
There's so many random encounters.
I think it's 821.
Is that all you need?
There's level 31 bandits that are on the, because they scale with us, right? I mean,
we need 8
Skyrim.
821 each.
Oh, that's nice.
So about 2,000 or 4,000 each, or 4,000 overall.
And
change.
Oh, random encounters.
If I have to redeem a random encounter, I could.
I could too.
I am under 39. I'm under 40,000 K now, so.
Sorry, Nick, you're really quiet again. I don't know what happened to your mic.
There should be some points from Zagamander.
He's right.
Yeah, but we said last session, best case scenario, we were still short of next level. So we want to try to, I don't know what, kick the random puppy on the way to.
Well, that's what Overland Travel is all about, is the random encounters you make on the way.
I mean, do you really want me to roll a random encounter on the Sullen Hills?
No, well, I mean, yes, because apparently it's better than random encounter in Scrapball, which includes Murder Bot from Gamma World.
It's the same chart.
I cast lightning bolt and haste it.
Chart. that is the same chart. By the way,
it has to change like how she sits on that couch. It's too distracting for me.
She just looks very tiny.
She does.
Are you tired with too much snowboarding?
Yes.
Yes, too much snowboarding.
Well, a lot of snowboarding and a lot of potty training with a puppy, and Yeah. No, I woke up at like 6:30 this morning because every morning Evan wakes up super early and he's like, I'm not quiet. Bam, bam, bang, bang, bang. Run into this thing. Turn on this light and that light and not shut any of the doors. And so by the time he leaves, I'm just like, well, I guess I'm awake now.
Well, Evan just sounds rude because he weighs less than my left leg. I'm 6'7", 230, so I mean, come on, he's itty bitty, right?
I love him very much, but and one of the things I find endearing about him is how fucking clumsy he is. He is a doctor and not a fucking surgeon, and there is a reason for that.
So this is where he needs to roll up a character for our campaign to fill the tank position because he has like a 6 dexterity, whereas Nick and I have like the 18 plus dexterity. So yeah, have him roll up a character.
You
use sick both as positive and negative. This makes no sense.
With Magic the Gathering, they called him Swamp Crotch.
Swamp Crotch?
All things black. Yeah, because he used to wear so Magic the Gathering, at least at one point in time, they would like do it on ESPN, and now you could watch it online. Sometimes they'll show some of the tournaments. And so when he would be judging them, it would show the players, and in the camera between the players was always his swamp
Crotch.
belt buckle. So they called him Swamp Crotch.
Awesome.
So whenever you always watch like these really cool people playing, you also saw Evan's dick and the swamp.
Well, I thought there was a YouTube channel where I could subscribe to see that, but I mean, I'm glad I could save money.
Oh my God, yeah. So that's what that meant. That's Swamp Crotch.
So what I heard was Magic the Gathering people.
He's designed a necromancer to play. That's all he wants to do is like dark things. If it was vampires or just anything that you could think of, it probably would have come out of like black Magic the Gathering cards. That's sort of
funny.
Yeah.
Okay, you arrive successfully in Torch without anything particularly untoward happening. You see things traveling in the distance, but nothing actually interacts with you. You're a pretty large.
Run after them for
you're a pretty large group with a gigantic, meaty giant, so people are taking second thoughts before they come towards you.
Nice. Can we ride the zombie giant? Will it hurt him?
No, I mean, it's a zombie. It just doesn't give a fuck about anything.
So can I sit on the shoulders of the zombie giant and put like a big blanket around us and pretend that I'm the zombie giant?
What?
She's doing the how many badgers tall are you with the trend?
That's right.
I mean, that's a lot of badgers.
That's a lot of badgers.
Badgers tall am I, Hal?
This thing has 2 heads, so you're sitting between them.
So she needs an inferno cloak, is what you're saying.
Right.
So apocalypse cloak. Yeah.
So one thing to be aware of is both Shaylin and Desna are not particularly pro-undead.
But I worship Bry, so this is okay.
I mean, you don't. I mean, it's just another form of machine to you.
Exactly.
So
but both Desna and Shaylin, neither of them are particularly pro-undead.
Right, but that's 2 other completely party members that are meatbags.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you wouldn't be having fun with the zombie, probably.
Well, it was more about disguising the zombie and then also making myself look really cool.
Right.
And I'll encourage that. Kiernan will encourage that. Like, yeah, this is pretty awesome. Look at how badass we are. Not to have her lose her powers, but kind of like...
Yeah, right? Yeah, because losing her magic would be pretty terrible. But she's not a cleric, so she will never lose her magic.
No, because she was chosen. She did.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt her as. I don't want to hurt her. I do not want to hurt her as the character, because that's not what Kiernan's about. But it's a whole about. Hey, there's other options. You know, this is all cool, right? You feel the adrenaline and just kind of like not corrupting her, but just kind of, you know, there's different ways in the world than just what.
Well, Buligup, other than single-handling a glaive has shown almost no devotion to Desna, so we're probably okay there, or Shaylin, or whoever.
I mean, he shows a lot of devotion to Shaylin in his beautiful art of fighting.
Yeah, he does a lot of like devotion to Shaylin by holding giant things in one hand. No, just a hand now.
But I don't know how you're disguising this zombie giant because it's 10 feet tall, basically.
I already said that I do not necessarily approve of the zombie. I do not encourage it, but you are your own person,
Right.
and I understand the necessity of it. Like me, like I don't approve of or encourage the eating of meat or dairy, but you know, y'all are your own people. And
right, I got you. I got you. So we can
Kiernan's
raise
not
the
about-
undead if we want.
Yeah, Kiernan's not about the evil part of lawful evil. He's about the power and the lawful part of it. So it's like this is a efficient use of showing others to not engage us and fuck with us.
If you go around raising all the undead you find, then I might have a problem and not be okay with staying with you. But if it's every once in a while,
Trust me, you don't have to worry about that unless we go to the village where your entire family died at the hands of robots, in which I will totally raise them as zombies or skeletons, depending on how long ago that was. But
you stay away from my family.
Noted. So unless the party explains to Alexander that it's a problem, he's probably not going to understand that it's
Ixnay on the ambize.
So you arrive back in Torch. What are you doing with the Etten zombie?
Well, it's taking our cart up to the forge, I guess, unless
I think it can leave it. I think it can leave it at the edge of town, and we can deal with it at that point. Because we have the donkeys, don't forget, and we can also have the zombie park at the watery entrance where no one's really going to go. Like the water entrance underneath, right?
Oh, like back by the whatever palace that filters the water that I wanted to disassemble on the way out, and you guys were like, "No, we don't have time," but you had no other problem with it.
Well, but we want to explain to you that average folk, including the populace of Torch, will react even worse than Scrapple. So, I mean, we're going to know that going in.
But
so
it
keep
was
the zombie outside of town.
It was evil. Now it's useful, and it's contained because I control it.
I didn't say evil. I didn't say useful. I just said it's discomforting to them, and we want to make sure that
evil
they're
and
on our
useful.
side.
Can you perhaps cast some sort of spell on it to disguise it?
Yes.
Okay,
you just disguise the zombie as maybe not a zombie, and
no. Well, let's say that we are able to pull off an illusion of epic proportions to make it A, not smell, B, look like a normal giant Etten, and we're going to go through town like that? No, it has to remain outside.
Say that my offer still stands to ride in between the two heads. And I do have my sleeve of garments, and I could cloak us in something very snazzy to walk through town.
I mean,
you could cloak you. I would like to point out that there is few. I mean, people have some sort of objections against people being smelly, but they are not necessarily morally or religiously opposed.
Oh, Gentle Repose handles all that. That's good.
Oh, right. While we're traveling, Kiernan, make me a con save, will you? Fort save.
Oh, sure. 3 days, right? So,
well,
wait.
One.
Con save? You mean fort save, right?
Fort save. Make me one.
Technically, I could spontaneously cast Appearance of Life on the zombie for an hour.
18.
That's pretty good. Okay. Thank you.
So even though Tatia looks like a San Francisco parade on top of a giant 2-headed, now 3-headed creature, I still think it's probably prudent for us to not raise the hackles of the common folk that are going to completely get turned off by us. Alexander may not understand that, but Buligup at least probably would to some extent. You can't like turn the populace off on us.
Should I cast Appearance of Life so it appears to not be undead?
Even if it doesn't look like it's undead, it's still an Etten, an evil creature in their eyes. They will not respond
racist.
Well to that.
It's an individual and under my complete control.
It's not us that's racist. It's the common folk that are racist.
You're assuming that.
Oh, you want to go into town with it? I will go into the other entrance.
Also, Appearance of Life only works on medium-sized creatures or smaller.
Oh, there is that trouble. I target is one or more undead creatures.
Yeah, but you actually read the text. It's illusion makes undead creatures of medium size or smaller appear as if they're living humanoids.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, my point is that these are not normal folk. Like the townsfolk, like the priest of Bry, a couple of the elders might not get phased, but like townsfolk will start to do the whole Mary Shelley, Frankenstein, pitchfork and torches. You ban the modes, ban the witch.
Nobody likes me to have toys.
In fact, they'll even take Tatia and strap her up on a pole and burn her alive because obviously, if she's riding between the two heads, it's her fault. We don't want that to happen either.
So, is there a cave nearby? And I mean, if it only moves with Alexander's instruction or command, then we can hide it and then maybe cloak it.
So the watery cave that leads to the the under cave that leads to the watery chambers is probably the best because no one goes there, right? Remember how we went in through the watery caves to get underneath Torch when we tried to reignite Torch in book 1 or whatever? If we had to go, the Etten is going to be able to basically, it's undead. It doesn't need to breathe. It can go underwater, go into that tube. That it doesn't need water breathing. It could just stay there for a day or so. Who cares?
Would the water increase its rate at which it deteriorates?
Probably not.
Gentle repose, it'll reverse it. So,
but you should probably talk to the dark folk under there to make sure they don't attack it.
It's only at the entrance. They wouldn't come that far, right? But yeah, I mean, I could go there and talk with them. I have a good rapport with them, and
so
nighttime doesn't bother me, right?
Then we have a cart full of batteries we can't move on our own and other gear.
No, we still have the cart with the donkeys.
Okay, I guess Artax can bring it the last few thousand feet.
Well, Artax is the donkey, Roach is the horse, right? So we have
up the hill.
Yeah,
sure. Why not?
Fetch a pail of water.
The fetch.
So you're back in Torch. You are hanging out at the forge. Everybody's happy to see you. They welcome you back. They are eager to hear what you've done to help them be safe.
Oh, bull strength is on creature touch, so I can totally bull strength Artax.
like a really buff pony.
It's a tiny Clydesdale.
Tiny Clydesdale, that's right.
Why is the command word for bull strength Adrian? Just asking. I don't know. It's crazy.
So, what's the plan here in Torch? Do you want to sell up your stuff? Do you want to do that off thing so we're not just rattling about stuff because it's kind of boring to listen to you talk about what you're selling and what you're wanting? I think now might be, I'm guessing you're going to sell and buy, so that might be a thing to do in off time.
Sell, buy, enchant, talk to Connor, talk to the Cleric of Bry.
Yeah, whose name we can never remember.
And Dinvaya. Talk about their past with the Technic League. Talk about Hellion.
Yeah, so you spend time with the people here telling them what you did in Scrapwall and relaying your story about what was going on with the power and all of that kind of thing, and they're very happy that you have essentially made it so it's safer now.
Yeah, and from a role-playing perspective, we are trying to set up not only that safety, but I want to say we were kind of, I mean, as a listener of the podcast, honestly, I like to hear the details of what did you buy, what did you do, but
we can still hear that, but we don't need a full.
We don't need a full.
We don't need you guys going through things spreadsheet and item at a time. I mean, you can do.
We could just do like a recap.
You can do a summary of what you sell and what you buy without taking 13 hours, because it will take a while to go through everything. It is going to mean that you are actually going to have to go through everything. It's just I don't know whether anyone really wants to listen to that.
But does anyone on Discord give us suggestions on what we should do?
That's what I was going to say, too. I think it'd be a good idea. Go on Discord. We're about to level up, like making suggestions for things we could buy, things we should do when we level up. Yeah.
Is Garmin still in town? Because we could totally kill him to level up.
I mean, he may be, right? I mean, it's where he lives.
Yes, unless he booked town after we exposed him, but
always a possibility.
I could cast that curse that makes all the money he touched turn to copper.
You want to do that, don't you?
What? That's an amazing curse. What curse is that?
Curse of naughty touch. It's like miser's touch or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Bad touch.
Yes.
No. Right. That's where you point to the doll and say, where did they inappropriately? Yeah, that's different.
Okay, so I think we should call it here. I think you guys are about to level. I think that's probably going to be fine. Let's give you some experience. How much do you actually need again?
We need
5 points.
What was that? What are you yelling?
5.
5 points. Okay, you can have 5, and everybody else can have some more than 5.
No, you suck. You really do that.
You say that like that's a bad thing.
Okay, so you dealt with Zagmander, which gets you the experience of Zagmander for 3,200.
Not bad.
And releasing his terror on the multiverse should get Kiernan bonus XP.
No.
No, only if we work on commission.
Sorry.
I'm going to guess that brings you up just slightly short, if that was all the experience.
Yeah, because that'll give us 600, or no, we only split 4 ways, right?
Right. Gives you 800 then, right?
Yeah, and we need 21 more each.
So let's say that because you dealt with him in such a nice way and didn't murder him or attack him or be mean, and you let him go off about his way, we will give you an additional 100 experience to divide by the party.
Yeah! Oh, thank you.
And is there a
GM?
And is there a pregnancy saving throw that Tatia needs to roll? Just asking.
We are not worthy.
No.
Against Kiernan swimmers? No.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not going anywhere. They're made of smoke, aren't they?
Hey, wait.
Welcome to 7th level and 4th level spells for me.
Woo! 4th level spells.
Hal, serious question, though. Because of the nature of this campaign, with us going in to Iron Gods, does Kiernan, are you forcing him to take the technologist feat in order to be effective?
That was the agreement we made for this level.
Sure.
Effective with technology, sure. You can be effective in many other.
Every single lock that we've run into, there's not been a mundane lock in this campaign yet.
No, there isn't. So the thing we said was just because of how epics work, you actually need the technologist feat to even use them. Sure, so we've just been assuming you've had it, but you now have to take it.
I think it's a heavy price to pay for a feat, so that's why I'm consternation.
I mean, it's a good feat, especially in this adventure.
Sure.
It's good that a couple of you have it, so it means you can actually use all the items you find. Otherwise, you can't.
Well, but I just thought because of the nature of the AP, that's all. So.
I mean, it's very appropriate for this adventure path. If you're playing anything else, I'd be like, don't bother taking the technologist feat.
Yeah. I took
Unless
it first
you're
level,
playing like a Technomancer or something like that. But
Ooh, should I multi-class? Because I've got magical abilities.
What was the question, Whit? Yes, Whit.
Can we do like side, like random encounters for extra XP where we get to play each other's characters?
You want to play other people's characters?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like,
who do you want to play?
I want to play Buligup.
Because he's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're level 7. Congratulations. I think we will call it there, and you will level over the downtime and buy and sell your nonsense, and then we will have a nice. We'll have a nice.
Oh, I suck. I'm gonna shut up.
Level.
We'll have a nice overview at the start of next session.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
What are you sorry for?
Because I can't shut up.
Well, that's okay.
I'll post something on the chat about my assumptions on sell versus save, but so feel free to thumb up. I'm not going to bother to post the whole spreadsheet because it's pretty ginormous.
Yeah, you guys have had a lot of stuff. I mean, there's also whatever the individual party members might be carrying too. So
yeah,
I think at that point we've considered it claimed, right? Like I have a few grenades. I could throw those into the pool. But
well, I mean, it depends.
We've already divvied up.
It comes around with if you're carrying something around with you you're not using, maybe you just want to sell it and get rid of it. But
that's
yeah, and I mean, if you want to sell something that came out of a party divide that you're going to use to pay for your level up stuff, it really depends on how you want to play that whole thing. If it's yours forever now, or
and I mean, there's always the option of potentially buying an expensive thing for one party member, etc., etc.
Yeah, of the things that I have on my sheet are all the things that I've quote claimed that I've had for a while. One exception though, Alexander. I still have the Wand of Shield you gave me, which is handy.
You do? Okay.
But do you want that
I'll take
back?
it off my sheet then.
No, I mean, do you want it back? I'm not claiming it.
I bought it originally, and so yes, but if you want it...
No, take it back if you need it. It was handy.
I mean, I've always had the EMP pistol on my sheet too, but that's,
I have that on my sheet, but if we're selling it, I'm cool with that too. So put the EMP pistol on the cell and take the Wand of Shield back on your sheet. I'm marking both off of my.
It never came off my sheet, so yeah.
Well,
all right, kids.
You gave it to me. I just had
okay. You've already started. Hold on. Let me do this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Visit us at the Discord, have a chat. Visit us on the Patreon and pay for this, I guess. Have a good evening. Have a great week.
We love you. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Bye.
love you.
You're listening to the smooth sound of RPGMP3.com. Dungeon on.